we doing this again?
Here we go. So I'm Russell Kirkby. This is the Vaingate Chronicles. We're streaming live from Auckland, New Zealand. I'm the Dungeon Master here, and these guys are basically trying to find their way around a wee city called Vaingate and do a whole bunch of nonsense that usually gets them in trouble. I'm going to introduce you to these guys one at a time. We've got Barry Tahira in the blue shirt. He's playing Milford Brixton, our lovable rogue. Followed by Steve Austin, who's playing Leith Mistralath, who's I guess he's a lovable warlock. He's a celestial warlock, so I guess that makes him lovable. Then we have Joe Grotenhouse, who is playing Goodale Dala Talandaran. You try and say that fast. Followed by Edrin Montkoff, who is being played by Max Easy. See, nice. I'm getting this. And then we have Michael Bache playing Adric Fogdar. All right. And I'm going to leave you guys in these guys' capable hands for a few minutes while I go and sort out a few minor details that I'm going to need to make their lives very difficult. They're actually at the point where they're all about to level up to level 4, except for Barry, who doesn't actually need to level up right now. You guys can talk among yourselves for a few minutes while you do your level ups. Okay?
Oh, are we not allowed to know why Barry is excluded from this?
He's already leveled up.
Oh, I see.
He was a level ahead of you for about the last 3 episodes.
Oh!
So that's why.
Oh!
Yes.
That's why he's so spry.
Yeah.
So we're playing catch up.
You are playing catch ups, and remarkably, he's the one that's come closest to death the most often. So,
right,
you know.
True.
level 3 represent.
Yeah, right. So level 4, here you come.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
I think I like this conversation at all.
Right.
Well,
who would like to go first besides me? I don't want to go first.
Well, maybe I'll go first with Lee, because I've got some options, some things that I'd like to put to the crowd.
Fantastic.
On my level up. So, first of all, I need to change my level.
So, Leith, you're leveling first, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
yep.
So you go into D&D Beyond and you click on the thingo, the character builder.
The first thing it's asking me to do is add an ability score improvement, but I have the option of going ability score improvement or feat, and I feel I want to go feat.
Okay.
And I want that feat to be telekinesis.
Ooh.
Because of the currently burgeoning mind powers that Tozen is introducing to. Either charisma, intelligence, or wisdom. Which does everybody think?
You're getting a little bit of blowback on your mic there, Steve. Just a bit of
on my mic.
Bit of pop
mic.
there, yeah.
I'll move it a little bit. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's way better.
That's much better. Thank you, Steve.
Okay. It's just probably my beard just interfering with.
Yeah, beards do that
things.
right here.
Yeah, yeah.
It must be very tough to have.
Can be.
You also have to be very tough to have a beard.
Too right.
Also true. This is also true. Anyway, we're not talking about me, goddamn. We're talking about the Leith's burgeoning growth.
Yes. So if anybody
Sorted the sound.
here,
Awesome.
or
Sorry about that.
any of the other players, or anybody on the stream has any thoughts as to what I could put, what ability point I could, what ability I should have my, God, I'm sorry, my telekinesis in, that would be most welcome.
What is it that I give you?
So it gives me an extra point in that ability score.
Which ability score are you talking about?
Whatever my telekinesis is in.
Yeah, but does it give it to you in intelligence, wisdom, or charisma?
All of those, any of those three. That's the option that I'm.
I see.
So one of those three.
Because you're a warlock, my suggestion might be charisma. Because just whatever boost you can get to that is going to make you infinitely stronger.
Although, is your charisma an odd or even number right now?
It's an odd number.
In that case, definitely go for that. Because if it was an even number, then it wouldn't be worth. But if you've got like a 15, definitely boost that charisma to give me the +3.
I just question that because I already have Mage Hand, and that gives me the Mage Hand cantrip if I take it.
Telekinesis is already going to give you Mage Hand. But with that, you're able to use it somewhat slightly more offensively and able to make your Mage Hand go invisible.
Not. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so you're able to do a telekinetic shove, and that's really useful for someone who's a bit squishier.
That's very true. I just want to check the other. Oh no, it is always Mage Hand. Okay, and then there's a bonus action. You can telekinetically shove one creature.
There are a couple of other psychic options that could also be useful if you wanted to be a bit gruntier. I can't remember what they're called. I think it's Tower of Iron Will. And I think it gives you a boost to your constitution, which, if you're wanting to be tougher, bolstered by Tozan's magics, then that could also be useful.
Where
There's
is
like
that?
3 or 4 of them. It should be really close to telekinesis.
I'm not seeing it.
Give me just a moment to have a look at my...
Also, your Mage Hand increases. I don't know if you've already said this, but the Mage Hand increases 30 feet if you already know how to spell it. So, so if hang on, what is it usually? It's 30 feet. That means you can do it up to 60 feet now.
So that would take my charisma up to 16 if I take it in charisma, whereas...
looks like they removed the Tower of Iron Will.
Plus, if you do charisma, ignore me.
There's also telepathic, which, I mean, if you wanted to talk to people with your brain skills, which could be quite. I don't know. Maybe you're talking to Tozan, and suddenly you can talk to everybody else however you want.
So, I just want to quickly say something that's very important to me personally right now. His name is Tozen. Tozen.
Excuse me. Sorry, a little bit too close to Tarzan. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tozen.
And it rhymes with frozen. Tozen, frozen.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you, Russell.
No worries. That's all good.
We'll try and let it go.
You'll try and let it go. You will try and let it go.
Yeah, with telepathy, you could also then just cast Detect Thoughts, which may or may not be useful to you when tearing apart Mia's mind.
That is actually a good thought, rather than going telekinesis. I think I'm going to do that actually.
Lovely.
And put it. There's no difference between the three, is there?
No. It'll give you a bonus to whatever stat that is, and just so you're a more effective caster as a warlock, charisma is your go-to, my dude.
And if it's odd as well, then it would boost it to +3.
It'll give me a plus.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. That's sorted that one out then. So telepathy was in charisma. And now to add some spells, I need one more cantrip and one more known spell. For my cantrip, I was thinking about friends, which is for the duration you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile to you.
I feel like that one could be really good for Leaf, hey?
Yeah. Because now you'll be a +3 charisma. That'll be really useful for you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. I'm gonna lean into that one. And
Very nice.
on the cantrips, where are they? There were two that I was thinking. Oh no, that was the cantrip. What am I saying?
Yeah.
The second level spells. I was thinking either suggestion, which is you suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear or understand you. Just needs to make a wisdom saving throw. The other option, which I thought might be more useful for the group, is lesser restoration.
Ooh. What does your heart tell you? What is because my experience with Leith feels lesser restoration. He hasn't done much in the way of bending minds. But how does Leith feel to you?
He does want to be a source of help within the group. I don't want to be taking any other offensive spells because those are essentially his tome pact, have come with the tome. So what's my heart saying here?
Well, I'm going to put a bit of time pressure on this.
I think lesser restoration feels the better one for me at this point.
All right. Do it.
Do it.
All right.
And I think that's everything for me.
All right.
Just to double check.
Awesome.
Through the...
What about your hit points?
That will automatically adjust.
Yeah,
okay.
it'll adjust. Everything else, I think, is golden.
All right, cool.
I need to add that 1,000 gold that Russell gave me last game.
Okay, and Russell mutes Steve. Just kidding. Okay, so Michael, let's do your character next.
Cool, brilliant. I am just going to be taking a feat, and I will be taking. It's called Artificer Initiate. And I'm just taking that because I feel like it'll be, it'll be particularly useful because I'm going to be imbibing magic with giant runes.
Right. That's right. And we talked about this. I mean, initially, just for the audience's sake, my reaction to him taking anything with the word artificer in it was no, because there are no artificers in the world of Sidariel per se. On further discussion, we discussed that he wasn't going to be using it as a sort of a steampunk thing, nor was it going to be any kind of mechanical gadgetry. And thus, upon those conditions, we've decided that he can, in fact, take this feat. How are you going to flavor that exactly, Michael?
Right, so I'm going to be taking my helmet, and I'm going to be running a fin down the length of it to the back, sort of like a myrmidon. And along it is going to be the giant rune for lightning.
Okay. And
from that particular rune will become the cantrip lightning lure.
Right.
Because as everyone knows, the shorter races, your movement is up to about 25 feet. So if I get to somebody and I can't quite hit him, I'm going to use lightning lure, pull him closer to me, and then get a little shock.
Right. Nice. Okay. Cool. So that's your entire level up. Just that one feat?
That's the cantrip.
That's the cantrip.
Again, a cantrip and a first level spell.
Ah.
My first level spell, because I'm kind of flavoring these up the ordering.
Right.
So with this one, it's going to be Featherfall, something nice and useful, just in case we all fall to our demise.
So Michael just mentioned the ordering. The ordering is the system of the Giants Society orders itself within the ordering. That's what it's called. And so his character, being a rune knight, studies giant runes. So he's using the ordering as a way of developing his character, and his internal consistency and internal logic within his character is based upon this idea of the ordering. Yeah. Okay.
So, was mention of Fire Rune going to be giving away too much right now, or leave that for later?
Leave that for later.
Cool. And again, one more thing with this Artificer's Initiate, and that's proficiency with an Artisan tool. Really proficient with Mason's tools, proficient with Smith's tools. So around this whole runic everything, my final Artisan proficiency will be in Calligrapher's supplies.
Right. Very cool.
It's a righty boy.
Very cool. Okay, so we go now to Edrin.
Hello!
Hello.
I'm leveling up to level 4. Boop. And because I am simple and plain, I'm going to be taking the ability score improvement to increase my my intelligence to 18.
Wow.
So I'm going to be a smarty boy.
Smarty pants. Okay.
Smarty pants.
All right.
However, if I'm doing that, I do get to learn at 4th level. However, I believe at 4th level I get I get to add to my spellbook 2 spells for free, but we're going to do that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm actually going to find the spells. But I also get another cantrip.
Ooh. And what will you be taking?
And I'm considering one of 2 cantrips.
Ooh, okay.
I'm considering either Mind Sliver, which is an intelligence save that does 1d6 psychic damage, and the target must subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw. It makes before the end of my turn.
Okay.
So that might be good to do continuous.
Out of curiosity, is that a bonus action or an action, that cantrip?
Oh, that cantrip is an action.
Okay. Okay, so if you're at the top of the initiative round and you know someone else is going to do something that's going to cause them to save, it's going to be extremely useful then. Or if you have a bonus action that will cause them to save too. Okay, very interesting. So that's what you've decided to take for sure?
I'm considering taking that, or Encode Thoughts.
What does that do?
So you put a finger to your head and you pull a memory, idea, or message from your mind and transform it into a tangible string of glowing energy called a thought strand, which persists for the duration, 8 hours, or until you cast it again. It's within 5 feet, tiny, wingless, semi-solid object. If you cast the spell while concentrating on a spell or ability that allows you to read or manipulate thoughts, like detect thoughts or modify memory, you can transform the thoughts or memories you read rather than your own into the strand. So if I was to get detect thoughts,
right,
I could then at the same time display what that person is thinking to other people. Or if I need to communicate to someone, I can do that if I'm not allowed to talk. So if there's a sound-sensitive thing or someone's cast silence on me, I can still tell someone to do something by drawing the message out of my mind.
So do you remember the last scene with the Queen Claresca of Scartabel, and Goodale sent that message to Milford Brixton? You could do a similar thing with that, I assume.
Yes, I could.
Right.
That's a very good point. Yes.
Right, so it could be used in a social situation or a kind of captive situation, prisoner sort of situation, something like that would work as well.
Yes, which is why I'm leaning towards it.
Okay, well...
I do like damaging stuff.
You can ask your crew for assistance on a choice there.
Yes.
But this is how long you have to finish your character level up.
What thinkest thou, everyone?
Yes, break people. Do it.
Was that yay or nay or sorry?
I guess
thoughts or.
I guess, Max, do you want to be? What's your feeling with damage versus doing other things?
Go with your heart. No time to think.
I've already got a damage spell, a damage cantrip. It'd be an interesting thing. I've never used it before. So it'd be interesting to kind of play with this in this scenario rather than Mind Sliver, which is interesting. I've never used it before, but it's another damaging cantrip, and I use cantrips to kill everything all the time. So
do you want the DM's opinion?
I could. I was just going to go for encode thoughts, but I'll take your opinion as well.
Well, I would agree with encode thoughts. I think that's a good choice. It's a good role playing choice. It's a useful cantrip for or spell, whatever it is, for this particular scenario, I feel.
Awesome. Very good.
All right.
I have gone with that.
Very good then. Okay.
All right.
And last but not least, Goodale. So you've chosen to you've selected level 4 on your character builder, right?
I have.
Okay, and you've gone
I think
back
I'm
3.
going to go with a feat because that seems to be the way everyone's going.
All right. Yeah, well, feats are good. Feats are good.
And they're a great way to colour your character.
Right.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So, what feat are you planning to go with? So, Awesome D, I see, has put some interesting feats into the chat there.
He has. I'm very appreciative of the help.
God, I should turn on the chat, shouldn't I?
Yes, I've been teaching while you guys have been leveling up. I've been trying to get mining for some ideas.
Getting ahead of the game there,
eh? What's he suggested?
Well,
something called Fey teleportation, which sounds very interesting.
Well, we could look it up. I mean, he's dropped the link there, I guess.
I think I might go with that one.
All right, you're going to go with Fey teleportation. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay then. Very, very good. So
I'll learn what it does as I go.
That sounds like a plan. Oops, here we are. We're back.
Yeah, it doesn't give me wisdom, which I probably need, but...
What's your wisdom looking like?
What is my wisdom looking like? I can't tell because I'm...
In your character builder?
Yeah.
I see.
Well, if you select the thing and do the thing, you can always change it if you change your mind, but...
yeah.
We are going to begin the story very shortly.
Okay.
All right, once you've finished your feat adding business.
Yes, I've added my feat.
All right.
Then have spells you need to add?
Do I have spells I need to add? I don't.
Okay, so yeah, you'll need to go to your character, your actual character, not your character builder now.
Yeah,
no, you can do it. You can do it in Builder. There's a tab right next to.
You can but just open your character up and go to your character's spell tab, and you'll see there's a little red button there or a box that says Manage Spells.
Spells and manage spells.
Okay. Once you open that up, you're going to see a big list appear and it will populate, and then you will need to learn some spells or prepare some spells or whichever it says in your particular case. I can't see your character right now. I can probably fix that, however. So, what options do you have there, Joe, in your spells?
My spells? I don't know. It doesn't look like I have any new ones to learn. Is that possible?
It might be possible. Let me just have a look at your character sheet and I'll tell you. Goodale, view. Spells, manage spells, known spells. Okay, so it's telling me that you've got 4 first level spells. Okay, so you've got, yes, you've got a new cantrip because you've got 3 of 4 cantrips, and you've got a new prepared spell, 5 of 6. So you need to choose 1 cantrip and 1 other spell. And you'll see where it says, it says you can prepare them next to them. So of course you can click on them to open them up and read them if you wish.
Yeah. Well, how about we start the thing, and I'll just try to. I'm kind of excited to get going as well.
Okay. All right. No worries then. Very well then. The last we left everybody, you guys were all sitting in Adric's room discussing what your next plan of action was going to be. The time of day. What is the time of day? Can anyone remember?
No. But we just gone to see the Queen, right? So...
Right, and that was in the morning, actually, so it's about mid-afternoon then.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Coming towards evening, you'd had a bit of a conversation with old, what's his name, Xandor Rem had a conversation with you guys, and then you'd been sort of sent off to your room to think about things. And he was very, very grateful that you guys had done what you had done in regards to Queen Claraska of Scartabel. Yeah, that's how I remember it. That's what I'm sticking to. All right, so you're in the room, you're by yourselves, you're alone. You have already thrown out the figurine that was sitting on the windowsill previously, again for like the third time. Milford, I don't know if your sound is on or not, or if it needs to be.
My sound is on.
Your sound is on. Excellent. Cool bananas. Over to you guys, because I'm not there. I'm just the walls. The walls have ears.
Okay. What are we doing then?
Well, I believe that we were going to divide our efforts. So some of our party could go and do some research, and the other three could do,
We've got to.
The masters.
We've got to talk to. What was it? Was it Hazelreel?
Hazeldrill, that's it.
Yeah, we'll go and see Hazelreel first, and were you too serious about, going to the inns?
Aye, just to deliver, the good news.
You sure you two wouldn't rather work on what we're doing?
I think.
Aye, yes, it's very important that we go and, report to Hazeldrill. It's gonna just nudge Edrin in his flanks.
I think definitely we should go talk to Hazeldrill. I think also I would like to go talk to Mr. Drizael about certain other things. But all in all, I think if we use during the day to do these things, then there isn't any reason why we can't spend the latter half of the day entertaining ourselves, especially doing such a high stressful and potentially lethal mission. It would be good to get some morale and especially get to know Mr. Adric a bit better. I mean, obviously it would be great for Goodale and Leaf to come along and get to know them better, but as they're off doing important other business, it'd be good to get to know this other good man we have only just met a day ago.
Who's that?
Well, yes, I do think we probably need to get to know Mr. Adric somewhat better, but I do feel also that there's something of a need to do some research and find out more about or where we need to go further. So I'm a little bit torn.
All right.
What does your heart tell you, Leith? What does your heart tell you?
Well,
what does your heart tell you, Leith?
To be quite honest, drinking doesn't.
Leith, I'll tell you what to do, Leith. I'll give you a suggestion.
Yes, Milford.
Not tell you what to do. You're grown, man. Now listen. I tell you what. You go and do some information with Goodale here. And I need to find out things too. But I wonder if
only if she's happy to.
I'm sure she is. Look at the way she smiles at you. Obviously, that means she wants to have an educated man with her. And you're educated, you see.
Oh,
okay.
Yes. The daughters will have missed you, I'm sure.
Oh, well, yes.
And you don't want them missing you for too long. Now listen, can you two find out what you can about the sewers? All right?
Sewers, yes.
Okay, specifically how far they go from the city.
Yes.
Okay, because the waste has got to go somewhere.
How far?
They go from the city, How far before they reach the ocean?
I see, yes. Anything else we should be particularly looking into?
Perhaps any maintenance entranceways. There must be a way to get in.
That's a good idea too. Yes, yes, and also, no. Can I say?
I feel these things might be better served researching at City Hall rather than at the Daughters of Twilight.
Well, you'll find that here. There is what you call a City Hall here.
They call it the Stad House.
It's called this. You already heard it from him. Yeah.
The Stad House.
Yeah.
The Stad House. Now, you can go there and you'll get your sewer information. I don't know how much you'll get, but, get as much as you can.
Very good.
I'd also be grateful if you happen to find any further information on Abnog Gur.
No, how do you spell that?
Well, that's just an A, B, N, O, what's the G? So sorry, I've been writing in giant for so long. I just let us into common. Second word, G, U, N, R.
G, U, R. Abnog Gur. Oh, that
is the Drow City.
Yes. Yes, of course. I'm sure there'll be plenty of information at the Daughters about that. So,
Well, you'd be surprised. It's really only barely rumored amongst the dwarves, and we're underground too. So, if there's anything, I'd be truly grateful.
Well, I'll see what we can find out. Yes.
What are the closest bars to? Barry's asking this. Sorry.
Yep.
What are the closest bars to the two places that leave
Barry, we've got a Twitch stream to do. You can't go off drinking right now.
I know. I'm not the one that wants to go off drinking. What are the closest bars to where they're going to be? Where these of them are going to be?
To the Daughters of Twilight. Well, I believe there is a bar in Isbot. There's some bars in Kavnarim and Nort. And
I just need one bar.
Ordurath
and
name. Bandar. Well, as it so happens, we have a list of bars.
I know we do.
We do. And I will just drag that up. One moment. Okay. Oh, that's a list of libraries. That doesn't help. Where's our list of bars? Max, I'm just going to ask you if you can answer the question for me.
Thank you, Mr. God, sir.
Max, can you answer the question for me?
Of course I can. Well, you see, Mr. Brixton, there are
I know where they are, but Barry doesn't know where they are.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it here now.
Okay.
That's okay. Okay, so Isbot is the closest. This is in Karkanos. Okay, so Liathael's Sanctuary in Asterion. Oh no, we're actually in Grenaldea. I'm sorry. Isbot Tavern in Isbot. The Grenaldea Tea Rooms in Bandar.
Right.
The Blackstone Owl in Ordurath, and the Dragon's Tooth on the corner of Nort and Kavnarim.
All right. Meet us at the Dragon's Tooth on the corner of Nort and Adblaring.
Kavnarim. Blah, blah, blarum. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
When you found that information.
What sort of, how many bells?
How many bells?
What about your fourth bell? No, maybe third bell. Sorry, it's a bit fast. Little sundial.
Well, how about in the fourth bell?
Fourth bell?
So 1 hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't want you to miss out on the fun.
Well, I'm not sure how long this is going to take us, but...
Okay, we'll wait for you there. All right?
Oh, certainly. I thought you had other things to go and do.
I do. But we're not immediately going to that bar. We're going to other places first.
I see. Very good. We'll begin our search then.
All right. And Gadale.
Yes, Mr. Brixton.
Don't lose him. All right.
I shall not.
Don't lose him.
Why on earth would she lose me?
Well, as Brixton's saying that to Gadale, I want to pull Leaf aside and say, very hushed tones and an elvish, Leaf, if you happen to find anything relating to what is beyond the shores of Vanderhold to the north, that would be greatly appreciated on my behalf.
Beyond the shores. Sorry, just writing this down. Shores of. How do you spell Vanderhold?
VAN
VAN
DER
DER
HOLD.
HOLD.
Yes.
Very good.
Specifically to the north.
Specifically.
Yes. Any mention of any of those would be of great importance to me.
Russell, while they're talking...
Yep.
Is this related to the current mission?
No, this is for personal setting at a mind at ease.
Russell, while they're talking, I'm writing down the bars so I can give these two both a list of bars.
Okay, so you write down a list of all the bars. All right, so Max, if you don't mind, can you share that list of bars with everybody?
Of course, I'm not entirely sure how to do that, so I'll do it on the chat.
Can we pass it in the chat, yeah? And while they're all talking, Adric's gonna climb into his cupboard and start getting him changed into his armor.
All right, cool. Okay, so you're putting your armor on for drinking. It's your drinking armor. It's important to have drinking armor on. So, just for the viewers' sake here, I just want to point out something very. This is a great tool. If you're ever learning to be a dungeon master, the single most important thing you need to do for your players is provide them with a list of bars. Because that's what they're going to ask you for. It doesn't matter what you've prepared. It doesn't matter what you think's going to happen. They're going to go to bars, and then you're going to have to make up a list of.
Everything's going to start at a tavern. Come on.
Well, remarkably, I one of the things I. Not to schmooze here, but one of the things I love most about how this all came together is it didn't start in a tavern. We all met in drips and drabs.
Right. Yeah. Actually, that's.
Yeah.
Can I, if I know we're all enjoying ourselves, but can we get back to the game? Now listen. Which bar are you two gonna start at? Don't go to that one. No, that's a bad one. That's a bad one too.
Nag's Head, I think if we're going to go talk to Mr. Hazeldrill, the Nag's Head would be the perfect place.
Okay, excellent. I can stop off and get my mule from there.
There's a knock at the door.
Come in.
Oh.
The door opens, and Xandor is standing outside, and he's got this large box in his hands covered with this piece of cloth. And he says, "Excuse me, I'm very sorry to interrupt you all. I have something here. This is actually from Queen Claraska of Scartabel. She sent this. She wanted you to have it. It's this is I guess what she considers some sort of bonus or something. Can I just put it here? Do you mind if I come in?"
Absolutely. Make yourself at home.
All right. I'll just put it on the shelf then, if that's all right with you. Just here is fine. Yeah. All right. I don't know what's in it. I honestly, I'd be a bit careful if I was you. I took the liberty of doing some tests on it, just detect magic, nothing too serious. Doesn't seem to have anything magical in it, from what I can tell from the outside. So. But you never know. She might have. I mean, she's got powerful people that work for her. She's got resources well above my head. So it's possible that there could be anything in there or any kind of traps. But it's not for me to reason why. Queen Claraska of Scartabel is in fact your queen, and you've recently met with her. So I've really no choice but to leave it between you and her if there's anything there. So I don't know what passed between you, only what you've told me. So good luck. I hope it's a reward. I really you probably deserve it. I have to say that the Wizards of Barakyle, also our envoy here, also are planning on giving you just a reward as well. You've done a fantastic job so far. Everything you've done, we're very appreciative for. In fact, I'm going to ask them if I can. I have an idea basically. I'm thinking I'm going to ask my superiors if I can get you to make a list of anything that you need or want, and I'll see if I can get that delivered, because I think you guys have just done a fantastic job, and I'm enjoying working with you. All right, so if you got any questions?
Just the one. So since we've spoken to the Queen,
Aye.
we may have to go and report back to Drizael and Hazeldrill and all of our previous benefactors, and just inform them that our employment with you might run a wee bit longer.
Hang on, who's Hazeldrill?
He's an associate of Drizael's.
Oh, I see.
I've not met him, but
does he have anything to do with what you're doing with Drizael? This Hazel, what would you say his name was?
Hazeldrill. As far as I know, no, he's just an associate.
Just an associate, Hazeldrill, you say?
Aye.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll make a note of that, and I'm sure. I don't know about this Hazeldrill. I don't know who that is. So for the moment, I appreciate it if you could steer clear of that. I understand if you want to say something to Drizael, do try and keep it short. Do try and get back as quickly as you can. Obviously, time is a factor, as you well know, and we don't want any slip-ups with information. This is all highly top secret. We don't know how legal this is, what we're doing. So, I really don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life. You understand?
No problem.
I prefer my neck on my body.
Don't worry, I'll break you out. Okay.
Well, I trust you, Mr. Brixton, that you would if you could. All right, then. I'll adjourn. I'll see you in time later. All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and he backs off and he leaves, closes the door.
Well, I guess.
What did you say that for?
Oh, and we needed to tell him we were leaving to go
No,
do
you
things.
didn't
We
need
just
to
walk
tell
out
him about the other dude.
Oh,
He didn't know. He didn't know.
He didn't know about the other dude.
As far as I know, he's just an associate.
Mm.
That was
I don't know. I'm gonna go and have a drink.
That's the plan, isn't it?
Should we
well,
have a look at what the clever Queen has sent us?
yes,
I'll crack into it.
I do think we should be careful, just in case. I mean, our meeting with her was not exactly pleasant, was it?
Is it locked?
I had fun.
Well, yes, but she was a little bit rude to us.
I'm
She's just a
chicken.
child, don't worry.
I have a suggestion, and I'll cast my mage hand and float it towards the box.
Right.
If you don't mind, just stand back, and I'll open the box with my mage hand.
It's a brain sucker. What's it
Currently
doing?
starving.
Starving. You know what this is, right?
It's
a dead
one
one.
of those upside
It's a
down,
dead
yeah.
one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Okay. So you send your mage hand in so you take the cover off it first of all, and it's this deep mahogany, beautifully constructed box with an inlay of what appears to be pewter and silver with these little black gems in it. Quite impressive, and it's got a latch on it. The latch does have a lock, but the lock has a key actually in it.
Well, who'd like to do the honours?
No, with the mage hand, I'll undo it.
Oh,
All right, you unlock it, and it falls open, and you're able to lift the latch, and then you lift the lid of the box, and it is full of gold pieces, but they are extraordinary gold pieces because they are minted. They're very newly minted. In fact, they have Claresca's face on them. They're like an entirely brand new form of coin that nobody has seen yet because they haven't been released yet. They haven't entered into circulation. So these are the latest coins from the from the mint.
So
Look at that!
they wouldn't be. Would they be accepted in the economy as yet, or
Sorry, what?
would they be accepted in the economy yet?
Well, they're made of gold.
Oh, no, that's that there's a fake Queen Clariska. I know fake witness, do you?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. She's given us gold that people might not want to take because they don't want to be accused of perjury.
Exactly.
No, she's trying to impress us. This is brand new. She's very proud of this, and she wants us to be impressed as well.
Or trying to buy our silence.
Indeed.
Well,
So,
at a quick scan, anybody who cares to can make an investigation check just to as a quick.
Sure.
This is just a quick scan to see how many
Why
coins
not?
you think there might be in the box. You know, just a rough estimate.
What's in the box?
This is the
Really?
box.
Oh,
What's in the
I got
box?
a 13.
I got a 15.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box? Put the bunny back in the box.
I only got an 8.
An 8. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Mine was an 11.
Oh dear. Okay, so some rather bad rolls generally. Milford Brixton, 14. Edrin, 13.
13, 14.
Adric, you made an intimidation check.
Oh, shit, sorry. Excuse me.
You're right, you can't read.
That's a, that's a 23.
You
excuse
weren't
me.
lying. Okay, so in this order, Adric, you believe there is about 1,000 gold pieces in this box. Milford, you reckon there's 800 to 1,000 gold pieces in the box. Edrin, you'd say there's about 7 to 1,000 gold pieces in the box. The rest of you reckon there's several hundred gold pieces in the box.
Well, it's my expert's opinion that there would be 1,000 gold in here. And between the 5 of us, 200 each.
In fact, Edrin, can you make just a general history check for me?
Of course.
Oh, sorry, not Edrin. My apologies, Adric. Sorry, sorry, Max. Didn't mean to confuse
That's
you.
a 7.
At least 12, says T. Earl Greyheart. A 7. Oh, well, okay then. You know an uncle who could have told you how they minted these coins and which sized plate they used, which would have given you exact specifications of a whole bunch of information that you actually don't know because it wasn't you that knows that stuff. Because you rolled a 7.
Gold, but
Is he here now then?
No,
Is he in the
but
city?
I just thought you might find goldsmithing interesting, but apparently I'm surrounded by Philistines, except for Goodale. She looks wrapped.
Welcome, Red Dumpster Magician. Thank you for following our stream. We
That's
love
an
you.
amazing name.
It is, isn't it? All right.
All right. I
Alright,
suggest we keep this aside until we really need it.
Maybe just a wee bit for tonight while we're out. I think just in case we need things.
The rest of you can divide it amongst yourself. I would just like 1 coin to keep as a souvenir of this lovely gift that the Queen has sent.
Gideo,
Yes?
you and the Lord here, can you write her a letter, like saying thank you very much for this wonderful gift that you've given us?
Yes,
And
Mr. Brixton.
how you're really not worthy of such a thing,
I can do that.
but you love the gift she has sent nevertheless.
Will do.
Good. Good, good, good,
Right,
good,
so
good.
I'm taking 200 now.
Beautiful. All right, so you're going to count out 200 coins out of that.
One
thing.
at a time.
All right. You can add to your character sheet or to your notes 200. These coins need a name.
I've just put
What's your
200 Queen Clariska gold.
Right. Very good.
Carescas.
Clarescas. I've got a list of currencies that I created a while ago, and I'm just going to double check that none of them would actually work for this, because suddenly it occurs to me that that might be the way to go. Currency.
How do you spell Clariska?
CL. Claresca. CLARESCA. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Currencies. What do we got? High Elven. Oh. These will be Moldrayan crowns, actually, but they're Claresca, Moldrayan crowns, and they're the Claresca heads or something like that. Clarescas, if you like, whatever you want to call them, actually. But you know that the particular size coin is a Moldrayan crown. In Vaingate, Barry, can you kill that background sound, please?
Eh?
Can you kill the background sound?
Okay. Hang on. I'm trying to.
Hang on. I got it. It's done. So you have 3 different types of coins in Vaingate that are common to Vaingate, specifically Gent marks, gate marks, and Moldrayan crowns. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I was listening to your details.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. So that's all. Those are the details. That's it. They also use platinum pieces, gold pieces, electrum pieces, silver pieces, and copper pieces. But electrum pieces are especially elven. Only the elves really use electrum in this world. And you know, they tend to be minted by whoever is the current High King, which right now is King Evran, the Usurper. Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Right, well, who else has taken their gold? Goodale, you sure you just wanted the one? You weren't part of us getting out of that hole down there and greeting the Queen? Money's useful.
Indeed it is. I don't want for anything. The Daughters of Twilight take care of me, and but if it makes you feel better, I can set it aside for now, and we'll see how we go.
I'd be happy if you had something to take care of yourself just in case.
Yes, especially if you needed components.
Very good. Okay.
And don't forget, you gotta pay people for information, Gadeo.
Oh. Okay. Yes. I better, I suppose, have some for that as well. Seems a shame to give away such beautiful coins for such things, but okay.
Well,
Exactly, to be rude, it's a gift.
I'm saying nothing. I say nothing.
Shall we go?
Where are you going? And who's going where?
So I think I'm going to head to the was it the Start House?
Right? Basically the equivalent of a town hall.
To go and look for the information of the underground. If any of you would like to join me, that's where I'm going.
All right.
Yes, I will go with you as well, because that was the plan. I don't do so well in the alehouses.
I believe we are Master Legion and myself and Brixton are off to inform our benefactors about what's happening and potentially inebriate ourselves.
At this time of the day, I mean, that's
Well, you know, as a dwarf, you live underground. Time is relatively meaningless.
yes. Well, well, whichever you choose, sir. I'm making tracks.
All right, Mr. Brixton, where were we heading first?
What are you saying?
We were heading to the Nag's Head first, I believe.
Yes, but on the way I've got to get me mule.
All right then, let's go and get your mule.
And I'm gonna get something to eat as well.
All right, not a problem.
Okay.
And away they went.
Okay, so you leave the Barakyle Envoy complex in Karkanos and you head north to the palatial district around through to Ludovar. You're taking basically the same route that you would take on your way to the dig
just
site.
one thing.
Yes, sir.
Before we leave.
Yeah.
The actual the box that the coins came in looked pretty precious as well. Should we perhaps hide that somewhere?
That's not a bad idea. Adric lifts up his mattress. Ready when you are.
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking, and I put it straight under the mattress.
Nice, very good.
All right. So you hide it under the mattress. Very good.
No, that's not very good. Any thief would look there first.
The safest place you could find was under the mattress. All right. Fair enough.
Well, there's a cupboard.
Can I have a look? Because I don't want to be embarrassed by hiding it under the mattress.
All right. You.
So,
this is your show. You drive.
All right. You can make an investigation check, Mr. Brixton.
Okay.
Or a sleight of hand check if it's higher.
Sleight of hand is higher.
All right.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Roll your sleight of hand. Milford Brixton.
23.
All right. Milford, okay, so you would fully investigate this room and you realize that underneath the mattress actually there's some floorboards that are a bit loose, and all you have to do is take out some of your thieves' tools and you just zip, 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 and take out some things and you pull out the nails and you just open the floorboards and put the chest in there. Takes you about 10 minutes, but these guys, I mean, you can watch him and he's working like he's, you know, I mean, Adric, you probably really appreciate his work here because he's very quick and efficient about it and he seems to know what he's doing, right? And bang, it's all...
like looking at the archground tools. I see what you're doing.
Orson D just spent 100 somethings. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a cheer. Haha, you've been cheered, Barry. Very good. Okay, so the chest is now hidden under the floorboards below the mattress.
Still under the mattress. My plan is flawless. Let's go.
It is flawless indeed.
Oh.
Flawless.
Oh.
I didn't realise.
I wish I took that psychic damage spell there.
Flawless. Oh.
I'm a comedy genius. I know it, and I don't even know it.
Right. You're on the wrong stream, bro.
I'm on the right stream.
No, I mean you need a stream with like thousands of followers. Oh wait, that's
come in time.
That'll be next week. Damn it, next week. Every time we log on, I'm like, it's going to be 1,000 followers this week. No, 6. Okay.
Well, you just need to advertise better. Say we're the funniest thumb-looking person in the world, and then it's...
Right.
If we stop talking and got on with the game, we might actually get some people watching.
Oh, right,
It's just that we had to stop for Milford to get something to eat. That's why things are taking so long.
Right. Milford's
I
having a
wouldn't
bit
say
of...
no to afternoon tea either.
Alright, let's go.
All right, off we go. So you leave through the route that you would normally take to the dig site through to Ludovar. You have to pass the dig site on the way out of this place. And it's, you know, it's its usual kind of creepiness, but it is daytime this time, which is a bit better. It's not as creepy as usual. And you get to the Anzel district and through to Lian Yun Gua, through to Dundar and out to the Asterion Elven Garden district, which is beautiful at this time of day, I might add. And there are a number of tea rooms here too, actually. And where are you going exactly?
Nag's Head.
I'm going to get Francis first and go to the next head.
Oh my god, Jim, you just got Francis. I love it.
I think Leith and Goodale have gone to the Stod House, have they not?
Yep.
Right, okay. All right, so you head off through, you get to Dundar, basically, and that's about the point where you split up in Dundar, because Dundar is where the Nag's Head is, if I'm not incorrect. Anyone want to cross-check me on that? I'm pretty sure.
You are correct.
I am correct.
From what I can see on the map.
All right, good stuff. Right, Dundar. Number 12. Yes. All right. Cool bananas. Right. So that's not number 12, but anyway. You get to the Nag's Head. Who is it that's at the Nag's Head?
Edric. Oh yes, Francis, Edric, Brixton, and Edrin.
Okay. All right. How do you want to go first? We're splitting the party, so you guys want to start this little operation first? We're going to hear from you first.
All right, let's do this.
You ready,
thing.
Barry? I mean, unless you want another 5 minutes to finish your tea, Barry, I can go with the other guys first.
Okay, do them
Well,
first.
yeah, maybe us first, so that you can supply us with
All right.
with the reading information that we need, and we can like put
Alright.
ourselves on mute and read everything we need to.
Well, it's not going to be like that. Trust me. I'm not going to
Okay.
supply you with a big pile of reading information. I'm going to give you a general idea of what you find. So you guys head to the start house. All right. And there's a couple of guards outside the front of it as you go in, and they kind of stop you. Oh, what's your name?
Oh, hello. My name is Leith Mistress.
Leif Mistralaf. Oh yeah, it's very fancy.
And
Where are
I'm
you from?
Gudiel Dalatalandaran of the Daughters of Twilight.
Oh, milady. My apologies. He steps to the side. Please do go in. He looks at his
Oh,
thank
counterpart.
Come along, Leith.
Yes, and I'll just trottle off behind her.
All right, and you find yourselves in the Strahd house. It's quite dark and dank in here. There's not a lot of light. The light that does come through is sort of coming through these cracked cracks in the windows where they've got shutters holding the light out. And there's actually torches and sconces along the walls and lamps. Lamps rather than torches. We don't want to burn this place down. That'd be a bad idea. All that paper. And you cross. There's a bit of a queue up to the main counter, and there's a scholar sitting at a table there. And he looks up as you approach. Good evening.
Good day, sir. We've come seeking some information.
What sort of information can I furnish you with this day, milady?
Well, we would like, believe it or not, to see some plans for the sewer systems.
What? I'm sorry, did you say sewer systems?
Yes, the Daughters of Twilight are having an issue, and we need to see some of the plans so that we can figure out where it is.
Don't you have a plumber?
Indeed we do, but he needed the information and I needed a walk, so here I am.
The sewer system? You want information on the sewer system? Can you tell me which particular sewer system that you're wanting information for?
Particularly
Yes.
the area of Steve just needs to get things out of the way. Between the Ludovar area and the Barrackile Envoy.
I'm afraid that's classified. No information is allowed to be given out by order of the Queen regarding anything regarding Ludovar or the Palatial District, the Barrackile Envoy, all the way to Motaku. Even the Asterian Elven Garden District is out of bounds. In fact, you might as well say forget it when it comes to Karkanos. Nobody's going to give any information out to you at all.
So, I wonder, good sir, and Goodale brings out one of her coins with Queen Klerska's head on it. I do wonder if this would help anything.
He kind of looks at it and he says, I do believe that might help, actually. And he kind of slips it into his palm and slides it across the table. So you're interested in these sewer systems, in particular beneath the Palatial District, that's right.
Indeed we are, and especially if
Yes.
there happens to be a connection from the Daughters of Twilight.
And what was your name again, madam?
Goodale Dalla Talandaran.
Goodale, he writes this down. Goodale Dalla Talandaran. And your friend's name?
My name is Lee Mistralath.
Leith Mistralath, from the Daughters of Twilight. I
Yes.
see. All right, well, it's going to take me a few hours, I expect, to dig this sort of information up. So, would you like to meet me back here in about 3 hours? I think would be a good time. Just before sundown. Maybe about 6th bell.
Yes, we have other research to begin, so yeah, we can certainly come back.
Very well then, sir and madam. All right. He nods, and do you leave at that point, or what are you going to do?
If it's 3 hours, I think we can afford to go maybe back to the Daughters and start some research into other questions.
All right. So where do you go to do that? You're going back to the Daughters of Twilight?
Yeah.
All right. So you travel down through the Astorian Alvan district. You can make perception checks for me, please. Perception.
21.
21.
20 for me.
Dirty 20. 21 and a dirty 20. Okay. You guys both have the sensation that you're being followed, and upon looking behind you, you notice there's 2 guards, city guards, following you. Every time you turn a corner, these 2 guards seem to follow you around the corner. They immediately seem to go into observation mode, like they're just standing around, but there's no question that these 2 guards are following you. They've followed you all the way through the Asterian Gardens. They followed you across the Asterian Gate Bridge to Cavnarum. They've followed you through the Cavnarum Gate and past Baishan to Nort. And as you're heading over to the Daughters of Twilight, they follow you still. They begin to close in on you as you start heading through Cavnarum, though.
Mr. Leith, what do you think we should do about our friends?
Well, I'm not too sure, really. Do we think that they've been sent by the Stud House or from somewhere else?
It's difficult to say what they are thinking. Shall we just ask them?
Well, you can.
Good evening, sirs. Is there something we can help you with?
He looks at his friend and he looks back at you, and they begin to kind of circle you at that point, a bit like sharks. And one of them says, "So, you've been inquiring about certain things in the city of Karkanos. Is that right?"
Indeed.
So you've got interests, should we say, over in the palatial district.
Indeed I do.
And what business is it of yours?
Well, he looks down at his badge and he looks back up at you and he says, "Well, you see, it's city business because, well, from what your lady here told our office clerk, Harold, Harold tells me that you are from the Daughters of Twilight," and it makes sense because here we are standing outside the gates of the Daughters of Twilight over here, all the way over here in Grenaldea. You're asking about the sewers in the palatial district in Karkanos. That's about 1.5 miles away. So it seems to be something of a disconnect in terms of what you're asking and what you're doing. Now, anyone asking about the sewers below the palatial district may well be planning some sort of interference, you might say.
Well, as it happens, and if you really must know, I have a condition which causes me to black out. And it so happens that I blacked out in the Daughters of Twilight and woke up in the sewers. And I am trying to figure out how that could have happened. It is a matter of safety, I assure you.
Yes, what she is saying, and I am her assistant. I am assisting her to find out where that might have been.
All right, Goodale. In fact, both of you can make persuasion checks. Goodale, I want you to have an inspiration point because that was brilliant role playing. You just click the inspiration button on your character.
I am so proud of you two.
You can spend your inspiration at any time, and it gives you advantage on a skill check, a saving throw, or an attack roll. But you can only have.
I don't know where to find it.
It's towards the top of your character sheet, near your main stats. So it's like a box that just says inspiration. When you, yeah, you can also give it to other players at any time too, if you feel that they've done something good or cool. So there you go. All right. So and we'll have those checks, please. Persuasion checks. You can go first.
I rolled a 19.
You rolled a 19. Awesome. All right. Followed by Goodale.
I rolled a 9.
Well, now might be a good time to use that inspiration then. It's up to you though.
Yeah, I probably will use it. I still don't see it.
That's all right. So you just roll your your check again. And this time, I'm just going to say roll it with advantage because I'm being extremely nice today. T.L. Greyhot says that Goodale deserves this. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I don't think you can't really fail this check. I just want it. I want to see the dice agree with me.
I'll give her my inspiration for God's sake.
Net 12.
Net 12.
I didn't roll with advantage though.
Oh. All right.
Right.
In any case, it's fine. They're quite taken aback. And along with Leith's assistance, I'm just going to say Leith was helping you. You've got inspiration. All of these factors combined.
Yes, what she says.
Right.
I can vouch for that.
Right.
Yes,
so you're getting this. This is the help action. It gives you advantage. So we're not even going to. It's like that's a passive check at this point. You've succeeded. All right, and they agree. They're like, okay, well, we're very sorry, madam. We just didn't know what was going on, and what your actions caused a little bit of suspicion amongst the clerks at the Stradhouse. Yeah, don't go to the Stradhouse. That's an entirely different place. Yeah. So we're very sorry. Much apologies. I hope you will accept our apologies, madam.
Indeed, you're just keeping the city safe, and we so appreciate it.
Yes,
thank you.
Very much.
All right. Well, we'll let you on your way then, sir, madam, and they wander off and leave you alone at that point.
Have a lovely evening.
Yes, and you too. Have a good evening. Yes. And they go.
I think we should watch our heels.
Yes. Good idea, Leith. Well, shall we go find out what we can?
All right, so you get to the Temple of the Daughters of Twilight, and you go in through the gates unmolested. And Goodale, what are you looking for exactly? You're looking for a library, an archive, something to that effect, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, you would know that the archives are partly managed by a fellow named Milmore Glass, who also happens to be the quartermaster of the Daughters of Twilight's operations division, and his offices are downstairs below the main temple in the archives, amongst the books and pages and scrolls and things down there. So I assume that's where you're going to lead, Leith. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you get down there and you find as you go through the tunnels, it's a bit like the underground archives of the Vatican. There's piles of scrolls and things on either side of you, and these archways on either side of the main hallway as you enter. And you see priestesses wandering around doing errands and things, and young boys and a few men as well. But obviously the Daughters of Twilight is mostly a matriarchal organization. It's almost all of the core members are elves. and either clerics or paladins. So there's a lot of squires and people that are in training. And
as we reach the door, Leith is quite excited, and he's like, "I've been so looking forward to visiting this library." Oh,
have you not been here, Mr. Leith? I thought you spent some time here.
Well, yes, but it's been in training of my skills. But I've not had the opportunity to really have a good look in here. So I'm very much looking forward to having a good look around and finding what I can.
Excellent. Shall we look for information on Abnar Gur first?
Abnar Gur? Yes, of course, absolutely.
One of the ladies comes over to you and she says, "Excuse me, may I help you?"
Oh, yes. I was wondering if you could help us with some information about a place. It might be mythical, called Abnog Gur.
Very well, I shall have a look for you. My name is Gedalin, by the way.
Oh, wonderful to meet you.
I'm one of the librarians here. And she begins taking you through the library, and she takes you down some corridors past piles of dusty tomes, and you can smell the ancient leather and the parchment, and in some places you can see where it's so old some of it's flaking away and falling apart. You see these great tables in places where maps are being restored presently by a small group of ladies and some other assistants with them. And you eventually get to this bookshelf in the far corner of this deep underground study area. And she pulls out these large tomes and she says, "I believe this might have some sort of reference to Abnog Gur, if that's what you're looking for." And she places it on the table. Poof! You can sit here if you like. There's a few chairs.
Yes, thank you very much.
And she casts light right above the table.
I'm assuming that the books cannot leave the library, or can we check them out?
She smiles. "No, I'm afraid you cannot take these books out of the library. Nothing here leaves, I'm afraid."
All right.
If you need some parchment, I can supply you with some parchment and some ink.
Oh, no, that's fine. I have my own notebook and pencil. Thank you very much.
Very good, sir. Thank you. If you have any further questions, I'll be at my station. And she points over to this location at the far side of this underground complex.
Wonderful. Thank you for your assistance.
She backs off. All right. And then off she goes and leaves you alone with this book.
So Leith will just get to reading as much as he can about Abnog Gur.
All right. So there is not a huge amount about Abnog Gur, first of all. And what you guys discover about it is that it is largely a rumored place. It appears in a number of ancient stories written mostly by dwarves and halflings. The dwarven stories seem to have more credence than the halfling stories, who seem to have some very wildly incorrect ideas about what it might even be like. It's certainly connected to stories of the Dark Elves, very ancient stories. One story has it that the city of Abnog Gur was destroyed at the time when the moon was destroyed by the Parkard stone 30-odd thousand years ago. Other stories have it that Abnog Gur survived. Another story has it that it moved. And the overall consensus that you arrive at after looking at all of these books, in particular, this book in particular, the general outcome of your research with Abnog Gur is that it doesn't exist. The overall idea most people have is that it's a story that's been made up to fill some gaps in history. There may have once been a drow city, it may have even been called Abnog Gur, but if it does exist now, it's a ruin, and it's very unlikely anybody survived or lives there. There's very little evidence for any organized drow networks or underground operations of any sort, let alone a city. As far as anybody is aware, the drow live in little tiny pockets and villages and underground communities that could barely be called anything more than a village or maybe a town at the absolute outside. But a city like Abnog Gur, the legendary Abnog Gur, that doesn't exist.
I'm going to point to the passage in the book where it says that it doesn't exist, and lean over to Gadale and say, "Well, we've clearly seen dark elves, so surely that proves that Abnor-Gur exists."
Well, we've seen the elves, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a fabled city exists. It just means that the elves exist.
Oh. Yes. But where does the story come from?
Indeed.
There must be some level of truth to it.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, I suppose.
All right, I'm going to leave you guys there to think about that. If you want to discuss that further, you should do that in Zoom chat, typing text. All right. Meanwhile, the other three, you guys head to the Nag's Head, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so you get to the Nag's Head and you see Laertes standing outside, tossing a dagger as he leans against the door. He's a tall wood elf, as far as you can tell, and he wears green and brown clothes. They're very nice, though. They're not. He's not really that rustic, despite his background. And he leans against the door, tossing this dagger over and over, and he looks up as he sees you coming. Well, well, if it isn't Milford Brixton and his accomplices.
We have business with the boss.
You have business with the boss. Oh dear. That'd be my headphones hitting the floor. He opens the door and he comes wandering in with you. Oh, Hassledrill, I believe our friends are here. They're looking to speak to you, my lord. And Hassledrill leans over from upstairs and looks down. Brixton, I've been looking to hear from you. I sent you a message. I assume you received that.
That's why I'm here.
Of course you are. Close the door and get in here, quickly.
You remember my two compatriots?
Your two compatriots? Yes, this is Edrin Montkov and Adric Fogdar, yes?
I've not had the pleasure of meeting you just yet, sir. I'm an associate of my cousin Drazales. Hey.
Aye, I've heard your name. You've passed our lips more than once, I'm afraid. We've unfortunately probably know more about you than you know about us at this point, Mr. Fogdar. I do apologize. Please come inside.
They could do with a drink as well.
Very good.
I hope you've only heard good things, sir.
In the background in the bar, you can hear people washing dishes. I'm getting some very realistic sound effects.
Down here, he'll pay you to make more sound effects.
Just like smash something so it sounds like a bar fight.
That's what she's doing now.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, to be serious.
All right. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted at this. Okay. All right, so you're in the bar with Hassledrill. He beckons you to come up the stairs, and he's got this big table upstairs. And incidentally, Adric, you've never been here before, have you? So you will notice immediately that there are these huge shelves on either side of this room that are covered from floor to ceiling with beautiful bottles of liquor. All kinds of liquor. All different colored liquor. Some of them look like beautiful magical dewdrops, and as the light from the high windows shines through them, they cast these amazing glows against the walls. These bottle-shaped glow behind each one of them. And for your information too, Hassledrill himself is this tall, high elf with blonde hair and blue eyes. Just to make things simple, he looks a bit like Legolas in the movies.
I'd heard you're a bit of a collector, Hassledrill, but you've got some fine taste.
Oh, thank you. Please do come upstairs. Take a seat. Now, tell us, how's the operation going? I'm dying to find out more. Milford.
All right, it's going like this. We've been down to the second hole.
The second what?
The second hole. There's a second hole.
Hall or hole?
Yes, both technically, actually.
Second mine.
Two dig sites.
Two dig sites. Two dig sites. Well, that's news, isn't it? Two dig sites. You've been inside it, have you?
We have, yes.
Oh, that's fascinating. Tell us more. Orson, by the way, is going to give the next open DC check. Open check DC 17.
Now listen.
Whoever's going to suck that up, we'll see.
Okay, it's all giant stuff, all right?
Giant stuff, you say? Like, what do you mean?
It all belongs to Giant. Will you tell him, will you?
All right. You were doing such an admirable job.
No,
Yes, but
I
he was
wasn't
taking
doing an admirable job.
forever
I'll
doing
just
it.
touch my head and pull out the image of the giant ship that we found.
All right. So you basically use your cantrip, your new cantrip, to do that. All right, and you put that in his mind, do you? Oh.
I'll just pull it out so we can have a look at it.
Oh, okay. So when you pull it out, does it display in front of everybody or just him?
Yeah, it's like it's a 5 foot.
It's a hologram.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a
Semi.
Okay, so Milford, you've never seen him do this before, and neither of you, Adric, right?
Oh my. Well, this will make explaining to Xandor a bit easier, Ethan. Why would you pull this out?
My studies have not been going as fluidly as I would have liked, and only recently have I really been able to cement this in my mind.
Oh, you should be very proud of yourself.
Oh, thank you.
As we were saying, as you can see from this ship here, this is an ancient stone giant funerary vessel for a being we've only been able to determine is called the Vizier. Beyond that, we do not know. I've not spent much time studying it. But what you'll be interested in, it's full of gold. A lot of gold. Mountains of the stuff. As far as we're aware, we've already killed the Guardian, the large bony snake. But don't need to worry about that. What else?
Well, congratulations. Congratulations are in order. Yes.
No, don't get so excited yet.
Why? He stands up and he goes over to the wall and he pulls down 3 bottles and brings them over to the table and puts them on the table.
Will you calm down?
Calm down, Brixton. You've done amazing. This is an amazing job. What are you talking about?
Listen.
Fantastic. Begins opening the first bottle.
Everything belonged to the giants.
Well, they're dead now, surely, aren't they?
That means everything is the size of unbelievable sizes.
Everything is the size of unbelievable sizes, all right? So you're saying there's a lot of gold then, aren't you, Milford? That's what you're basically telling me.
That's a lot of gold, but bear in mind, stone giants typically got to about 26 feet tall. That's difficult to carry, even for myself.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Yes, that could be a little bit
What
tricky.
I have discovered for you
Yes.
is they're packing most of their stuff that they find. Some of it's going into a boat.
Hang on a minute. Didn't you just tell me that you were getting this stuff off a boat?
No, I didn't tell you that.
Didn't you?
I said...
I'm pretty sure that's what your friend Adric said. It was
no,
coming off a boat of some
You're
sort of...
getting confused.
Oh.
Will you shut up for a minute? We found...
Yes, my lord.
in one of the holes a giant boat with gold in it.
And
all right.
The gold was giant as well, was it?
Yes, it was giant gold. Now
Coins are roughly
listen.
the size of a shield.
So there's a giant boat with giant gold in it.
Shut
Lots
up,
of gold.
will you?
All right.
Now listen.
Yes.
But we, as you can tell,
Yes.
we cannot just put all the stuff in a cart and drive out in it.
Why is that?
Because we'll be discovered just like that.
Oh, I see. Right.
But
So who do we need to kill?
could you just listen? Listen, use those ears.
Yes.
God knows they're big enough. Now listen.
Milford Brixton, be careful what you say about me.
Just listen.
I'm listening.
Right. In our port,
Yes.
the wizards have a boat.
Ah.
They're taking the gold to this boat.
Yes, I'm
now,
following.
What we're hoping to do,
yes,
at some point, because they're already taking the gold to the boat, we're hoping to take over the boat. You understand?
For you. And for you.
Thank you.
And this one is for you, Milford.
Well, that's not important at this moment. Now, if we can take over the boat,
yes,
we can take the gold, we can take the boat to the nearest joining between the river and the sea, and get the gold off the boat.
What sort of boat is it, by the way? I'm curious.
That's what I want you to find out for me.
What do you want me to find out? Don't you work for me? I thought that...
I need to find out how many will be on the boat, what kind of boat it is.
And I assume you don't have time to do this sort of research on your own.
They don't let us out of the place to do it.
Well, what are you doing here then? How did you even get out?
We managed to calm somebody because we did a good job.
Oh, I see.
All right, this is our reward. Now listen, we need to know how many are going to be on the boat, how many wizard guards they might have.
How am I supposed to find this out, by the way, Brixton? Have you got any clue as to where I would even begin to find this information? And
Mother.
What makes... I don't...
Go to Mother.
Brixton, I'm not in the habit of wandering the dark, dank streets of Vaingate looking...
But do you want to be a rich man, or don't you?
You have managed to leave me speechless, Bilford Brixton. I think it's the first time ever.
I know you're already a rich man, but this place will make you a lot richer. Now listen, go to Mother, get her minions to do some nosing around down at the boatyards.
Down at the docks, say?
Down at the docks.
What? Very good. Down the Droob River town. Very good. I'll send some spies. Yes, looking for boats that are being... How do I know which boat to look for?
It'll be the only one being loaded with gold, won't it?
Well, honestly, Milford, do you think they're going to be loading it with gold, obviously? I mean, are they going to be carrying large bags of... I mean, even if they're in bags, how will I be able to tell it's gold? It's going to...
with ravens.
Tell me this. To get the gold out, we use giant wagons, pretty big wagons. They're not going to be able to hide the wagons.
What sort of wagons?
Wagons to the boats, don't they?
All right. Now this is an open check, and Orson has already spent his points to his divinity as a god to alter the DC to make it 17. So you're going to make a intelligence check.
No.
No, Orson says,
Intelligence. Investigation?
It's not going to be there.
It's at the top.
It's at the top. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intelligence.
And I will click over here so I can see this roll. And we shall go to...
13.
Here, 13. Okay, unfortunately, you can't think of any reason why this wouldn't work.
Okay, you tell me, sir, why you think it wouldn't work.
Well, I believe that anyone moving anything from the Barakyle Envoy to the docks is not going to be obvious, especially if it's full of gold. Oh my goodness, we've just been raided by a whole bunch of people. Thank you all for coming. We're in the middle of role-playing, so we'll save our hellos and such until we're finished with our bit of role-playing business here. So, Milford, as far as I can tell, they're going to be moving gold from the Barakyle Envoy across the city to the dockyards and the Droob. We're not going to know which boat it is because they're not going to make it obvious to us. There's all kinds of carts and transports being moved through the Droob all the time. It's a busy place. Remember, Vaingate is the biggest city in the world.
If I might.
Yes, Mr. Idrin Montcoff, please.
The wizards seem to constantly have ravens with them, familiars. And it's very strange to have ravens at a port. So if there are seagulls around a ship, that's not suspicious. If there are ravens around a ship, that might be able to pinpoint what boat they're loading on to where, because I can't imagine ravens are particularly common around boats.
Ravens are probably not particularly common around boats. All right, I'll give it a go then. I'll try. I'll see if I can organize the spies to go and search the Droob for this said boat being loaded with enormous sums of gold and giant relics headed for the city of Barkile on the other side of the world. I hope you're right.
Don't they have to make some kind of report before a boat goes somewhere about where the boat's going? And
I'm sure they have to sign papers and hand them in to somebody or another. It's not my business at this point, but I'm sure we can do some research into that. Yes, Mr. Brixton?
Okay. And if we pull this off and find the perfect place, we're going to need something to load all that gold from the boat on.
Yes. You know, it does occur to me, Mr. Brixton, that perhaps the smarter thing to do is to steal the boat.
We are stealing the boat.
Well, just steal the boat then you don't need to load it onto anything. You have the boat, don't you?
But you can't come back.
Well,
the same port
that's
you left.
true. We'll just have to go to a different port, won't we? I mean, for an enormous sum of gold, surely you're not that attached to the city of Vaingate.
Do you know any sailors, by the way?
I'm sure that I could grease the palms of many sailors.
All right.
That sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? Never mind.
It does.
That's whenever you wanted to sound like Mr. Hazeldrill. Who are we to cast a shadow on what you like?
Indeed, Mr. Adric, indeed. Anyway, I do believe it's time for us to drink. And he pours, he cheers you again with his glass, and he throws back another swig of alcohol. And it is incidentally some fine elven wine called Morning Dew of Ida Solum.
That's a bit fruity.
Have you been in touch with Mr. Glass recently?
Mr. Glass? I've not heard much from Mr. Glass, except to say that I sent him a message asking to see whether you'd been in touch with him. He replied that he had not heard from you, so therefore we ceased communication until such a time as either one of us was to hear from you. So I will be writing him anon.
He's got a drow we found
The Underdark?
In the Underdark.
You found a drow in the Underdark?
Yes, and Mr. Glass has him under lock and key.
You found a drow in the Underdark? And in what circumstances did you find a drow in the Underdark? Here, in Vaingate?
It's a long story. Would one of you like to give that story to him?
I pull out us defeating the ogre and finding Gadale in the cages.
All right, so you pull out this memory and present it as a hologram into the center of the room above the table, and we see your little crew defeating two ogres, and Milford getting smacked almost to death on the ground, Adric also nearly dying, and all of that business going down, and then three spiders coming in with drow riders on the backs of them with cages, and all right, very good. So you display that whole scene back to them, to Hazeldrill, and Hazeldrill seems to be in wonder at how did you do this? Miraculous, Mr. Montcoff, miraculous.
Oh, I thought you meant how we defeated them. No, this was simply a.
Oh yes, defeating them also miraculous. So do you have images that you can pull out that will show us the enormous sums of gold? I'm very interested to see this gold. this treasure ship that you mentioned earlier. I'm very curious about that.
I'm more curious if you could tell me something about this, and I pull out an image of the book, the table-sized book that I saw.
All right. He kind of shivers as you show it to him. You see him visibly disturbed by the cover of this book, and he looks back up at you and he says, "That was a very odd thing, wasn't it?"
Yes, it had a very odd effect on me as well.
I'm a little disturbed by that, Mr. Montcoff. I'm not sure what that is, but I do believe that finding out could be quite imperative. It seems to be something somehow important. Do you think it was a giant? It was a large book, wasn't it? It was hard to tell the perspective in your.
It was about the size of a table.
The size of a table, you say? So you think it's probably some sort of giant-sized spell book, perhaps?
I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't see why a spell book would need to look so gruesome.
Perhaps it had some sort of particularly evil spell inside it. Who knows?
Yes, well, definitely they made sure that Brixton and I didn't get in.
So you attempted to open this book, did you?
Yes, and it hurt a lot.
I see. Well, yes, I would be very careful with a book like that. It's not something one wishes to just... Yes, I wouldn't mess with it. It seems to be a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
Yes,
And you say that there was a guardian there as well?
Yes. It touched Mr. Edric with its nose, I believe. It said something to him, like freeze or something of that sort.
I'm afraid I don't speak snake. It touched my nose and then went about its way before we killed it.
I see. Well, you've done a remarkable job here, it seems to me. I'm very impressed. I think you should each take one of these. And he goes over to the shelf and pulls down another 3 bottles and hands you each a bottle of elven wine.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.
So if you're able to, and you are able to continue with this work, I assume you want to, yes?
For the moment,
I mean...
It looks like we have managed to extend our deadline quite luckily. So.
Oh, you have you? You've extended the deadline. Oh.
Yes, initially the Barakyle seemed to be under the impression they had 4 or 5 days.
Yes.
But we've, because they were operating under secrecy, of course. Now, because they got more or less discovered, we had to speak to some people.
Sorry, what? Discovered by who? What?
It seems that their efforts got founded by the Queen.
Whoa, wait a minute. What? Hang on a second here, Mr. Adric Fogdar. You're saying that the Queen is aware of this dig site?
Aye, she's become aware of it.
That could be a little bit of a problem. Couldn't it not perhaps be a problem? Do you think maybe there could be a problem arising from the fact that Queen Claresca of Scartabel, her most aged and mature self, is now involved in our excavation site? I mean, up until now I was under the impression that there was merely 3 competitors looking to divide the spoils that they were able to obtain from the Barakyle envoy. Now it appears that Queen Claresca of Scartabel also wants to have a piece of the action.
She's busy looking at the gold in the hole, not the gold in the boat. If we can get the gold in the boat, she won't be losing anything.
She's no idea how much there is. Only that it may or may not be gold.
Well...
Yes, you weren't expecting all of it, were you? And I'm sure we can make sure a little bit of it disappears accidentally.
Like a whole boat, for instance.
Yes, a whole boat that she doesn't need to know about.
She doesn't know about the boat. Didn't tell her about the boat.
Right, I see. So listen, what is it that I can do to help with the situation then?
The stuff I just told you about.
Yes, so the boat business, yes, I'm looking into that immediately, yes.
And you've given us a good idea.
How much do you think that the Barakyle wizards have already managed to fit on their boat so far?
Yeah, but
I haven't been inside it because I don't know where it is.
I see.
But if I knew where it was, I might be able to get near it to get inside it.
I see. It seems to me that we need a method of communicating between ourselves here and you inside the Envoy district in the complex.
I'm drawing a map here.
Yes, yes, that's
we
good.
We found a little opening that we found to be very useful.
An opening? Where?
Yes.
Where?
In between the first hole. It's in an opening between the first hole.
An opening between...
It's a secret opening.
I'm not understanding what you're describing, Mr. Brixton.
Can you explain the opening that we use to get back and forth? Guys.
It's
Mr. Be so kind to show him. Oh, you've not seen it, have you?
We've not
seen it. No.
We haven't seen where it goes, but we know that it leads from the underground tunnel in the palatial district to somewhere above ground.
Ah.
And vice versa.
Ah, so there is a secret tunnel from the underground tunnel that leads up to the surface. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right.
I see. And do you know where it comes out?
It comes out at... Yeah, I do, because I've actually...
You have been there, yeah. My camera's just being a bit silly. It's going to come back in a minute. There you go.
Yeah, you're back.
All right.
Okay. You did tell me, but I've forgotten.
Yeah. It came out in the backyard of a very expensive house in the middle of the palatial district in Ludovar.
It comes out in a very expensive house in the palatial district in Ludovar.
I see. Now, if we could perhaps triangulate exactly the location of that place, we could in fact find a way to make exchanges of messages and other goods.
All right.
I can put someone in that location who can keep watch so that when you travel past, we can give you a message or vice versa.
All right. That'd be fine.
All right. Do you three want to make a intelligence check at this point too?
Can do. That's a grand total of 11.
All right. So 16 from Edrin.
Let's see.
All right. Adric is 11. Edrin 16. Milford Brixton 15. Okay, so Edrin and Milford, you both remember that when you discovered that tunnel, it was in part due to the fact that there were other people using it.
I'd also it was being used by the, what the hell was their name again?
The lepers
of Naught.
The lepers of Naught.
The lepers of Naught.
The lepers
you know
of
those
Naught.
little buggers.
Yes, I'm aware of those bastards. Indeed. They're quite dangerous. They have mercenary wizards that work with them and for them. It is of some concern, actually. Do you think they're onto you?
No, I don't think so. I think they might be onto the whole gold thing.
Hey, when we were attacked, it just seemed like they were more opportunists than anything else. Not a particularly well fashioned out exhibition.
I see. All right. Very well then. Anything else do you think I should know before you continue on your merry way?
Could you pass this on to the other two members of our triangle, please?
The triumvirate. Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
You're not planning to do so in person then?
No. I'm sure you can be more eloquent than I could ever hope to be.
That's probably true. Very well.
Also, we cannot be away for too long.
Yes, time is of the essence, my good fellows, Is there anything I can reward you with besides wine? I mean, you've done such a fantastic job. I'm so impressed.
All right. Is there anything the other two need that we know of?
No, I don't believe so. Nothing. I don't recall anything. Master Ranger, do you remember anything?
Very well. Put that on hold until such a time as you do require something, and we'll say that I owe you a boon, as it were.
Thank you.
I'll do nicely.
Thank you.
Very good.
How about we get soused? It's been a while.
Well, here you go. There's drink if you wish.
Thank you.
Do we want to do it all here? Do we not want to save our stomachs? Save our kidneys?
Yes.
Our livers?
Both.
All right, as you will. I'm going to make you guys roll constitution checks.
I'm having juice.
You're drinking juice. I don't...
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a logical reason for that, and you know it, Russell.
I do.
Yeah. Let me see what was it.
All right, Adric
18
and...
17.
Right, you guys do great. 17s and 18s on your constitution checks. Just for the for the viewers, these are the constitution checks.
Oh, I got a 9. Must be terrible juice.
Adric shits himself on the... Sorry, Milford shits himself on the spot.
I'm afraid, Milford, that it's not juice. It's not... There's poor etiquette. You won't get away with drinking juice at this point.
Okay, well, I won't drink anything then.
All right, then. So you won't need that constitution check at all.
Okay, all right.
Very good. You guys are fine. Cut to the library at the Daughters of Twilight Temple of Solanor in Vaingate, over by Kavnarum in the Grenaldea district in the south. You guys are looking through the books, reading about Abnog Gur. What have you since discovered since then? What are you reading about now? Any further questions or...
Yes, a few other things. We'll go back to the lady that that helped us before.
All right.
Ellen?
Good, Alan. Yep.
Looking at what we're talking about.
Yes, my lord. If there is anything I can help you with, please do ask. My lord.
We would like to inquire if there's any infrastructure papers around pertaining to the city and in particular the sewer system.
Can you make an insight check, please?
12.
12. That's not terrible. You notice this very slight flicker of confusion that crosses her face for a moment as you ask her about the sewer system, and she seems slightly surprised that such a high elf of such stature and standing as yourself, Goodale, would ask such a strange question. Nonetheless, she looks at you for a moment and she says, any particular district or area that you're especially interested in? I'm honestly not sure what we might have, but I suppose I should collect whatever information you might need.
Well, Kate Ellen, you may recall I have a slight condition.
I'm afraid, madam, I'm not aware of your condition.
It doesn't matter. Yes, if there are any systems that go from our district to the Barakyle area and the Ludivar.
I see. Very well. Let's look together. And she takes you over to you go through various areas of the library searching for stuff, and eventually, after about 15 minutes, she realizes that you're looking in entirely the wrong place, and she takes you to yet another part of the library and opens up some old scrolls and starts pulling them out. And the short story, the short of the long, or the long of the short, is essentially that there have been sewer systems built under Vaingate for hundreds and hundreds of years, and over that time, they are more or less complicated than one another, these various systems. They may or may not intersect. They were originally planned to intersect by Grand Emperor someone or another at some point in time. But that never happened, and they never actually finished that whole project for whatever reason. There are at least 3 different levels of sewers, all in various levels of disrepair. Only the highest levels of the sewers beneath Raxtharsis, Grenaldea, and Karkanos are presently maintained in any kind of fashion that could be considered maintenance. Below those levels, there are at least 5 other levels of sewer that nobody really goes into. Certainly nobody official goes into them, and the state of their repair is completely unknown, as there are no official records towards that. You do know that each of the city's sewer systems feeds out into a couple of open drain pipes that run through the Droob and through Rivertown and into the river. That's from the top level of the sewers anyway, and mostly that's stormwater actually. And there's a lot of stormwater in Vaingate because it rains quite a lot here.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Leith, I don't think there's too much here that's very useful.
Yeah.
Except that perhaps the city might be in danger of a sinkhole at some stage. Was there anything else we needed?
That doesn't sound particularly... Well, yes. Russell, how long have we been here for?
Oh, maybe 2 hours?
Okay, so we're running late to get back to them.
Are you? Okay, well, you wouldn't be here if you wouldn't be running late, I wouldn't think.
We agreed to meet them back at the...
I said for you to take your time. We would wait for you.
Okay.
Because we didn't know how long it was going to take you.
Well, I'm going to say to her, in the investigations into Abnor Gur, it seems that quite a lot of the most trustworthy opinion is of the dwarves.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you might be able to recommend a good dwarven library where we might be able to find out more, or maybe even someone of knowledge in the dwarven community.
Well, I should think that if you wanted to speak to a dwarf regarding that, the Banakayan embassy in the dwarven district of Drovnor in Raxtharsis would perhaps be the best place to start. That's...
Drovnor, you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Drovnor. Anyone in particular?
I honestly have no idea, my lord. I'm not a scholar of dwarven history. It's not my place of interest.
I understand, of course. Yes. Also, we're rather wondering about the legends around the giants that used to reside on these lands as well.
Legends about the Astorian giants of Vaingate.
Yes.
Yes, of course. I have copious amounts of information in that regard.
That might take us a while to get through, I'm sure. We do have friends that we have to go and meet, but if you are prepared to find that, we can return later in the evening and possibly
is there a rush, my
our
lord?
Investigations.
Are you in a terrible rush, my lord?
Well, we have agreed to meet our friends elsewhere, and I don't like to keep them waiting.
We will be closing the library soon. It's getting towards the end of our workaday, and the library will be closed for the night. So unfortunately, I can only do so much as far as collecting things together. But if you were to come back, perhaps 2 o'clock tomorrow, I would be able to obtain all of the books that you might find relevant regarding the giants that once resided in Vaingate.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. What else were we wanting to ask?
You mentioned you wanted news of a northern island.
Yes. Yes, one of my friends is inquiring about knowledge held about the Vanderhold district.
District Vanderhold is
and especially what lies north of Vanderhold.
Nothing.
I've not come across it before.
Well, she takes you over to a map of the world. All right. Now, if everyone will just stand by for a moment, I'm just going to show you that map of the world. Dun 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 dun. I just have to open it up. Where is it? World map. Close this. Oops. Not that. That's not what I want to close. I want to close that. I want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Here we go. That's the world map. Okay. And what you are aware of is that the very top of this world map is a place called Vanderhold. I don't know if you can see it on this map right now. It might be a bit small for the audience, but right at the top you'll see there's 2 islands, and one of those islands is Vanderhold. And basically she points to this on the map and she says, this here is Vanderhold, and beyond that is the Astral Sea as far as anyone knows. There's nothing beyond here.
Are there any rumors or legends of anything north?
Well, my lord, once one passes the freeze band here, it becomes very, very cold. It would be, we consider it to be an Arctic climb, and beyond that, nothing much can live or survive. Very few communities do. Even the very most northern tips of Vanderhold are practically frozen into blocks of ice. We have had no reports of any ships beyond that point. Nothing. No, my lord.
I see.
It is the edge of the world as far as we are aware.
Thank you for that information. I was not aware, and I will pass that on to my friend.
Very good, my lord. Will that be all?
I think so.
At that point, you hear 5 bells ring out across the city.
Oh, my word, we are dreadfully late to meet our friends. So we will return tomorrow at around 2 bells, you say?
Yes, my lord. 2 bells should
very good. I'll make sure we're back here at 2 bells.
Very good then. Well, thank you. Do come again. I'll see you in the morning or in the afternoon, shall we say?
Thank you so much for your assistance.
You're most welcome, my lord.
Thank you, Goodellen.
Okay, what do you guys do then?
We'll leave and head back to the bar.
All right, you leave.
Do we have to pick up information from Stadhouse?
From the Stadhouse. All right.
Do we want to go back after knowing that we were being followed?
Oh, good point. Good point. Yes, to the bar.
To the bar. All right,
I think we should tell the others that we're being followed, that we were followed once we made those inquiries.
Adrian, you just disappeared.
We've got heavies around us to accompany us back there.
Adrian, are you coming back?
Oh, no. You know what I think that might be?
Your battery might have died.
Yeah. Must be.
That's right.
Okay, so now we know vaguely how long it lasts. So hopefully next time I'll have either 2 batteries or a longer lasting one.
Haha. Or an AC adapter, even better.
Exactly.
All right, we didn't make it to the bar ourselves, guys.
Hey, Olsen, there's not going to be a hat, okay? Just stop it. Just stop
not
it.
Even just a little wizardy.
No, there's not going to be any wizard hats. If anything, we are doing the minimalist acting stylistic thing. There might be white T-shirts.
Or blue.
Or blue ones, but probably not blue ones, because that's not minimalist.
I do feel like an Ushanka would suit Idran.
And you
just,
what? Sorry?
Just
An Ushanka.
Stop.
All right,
Stop now.
All right. Get back to the game.
I'm gonna fire you all.
Yeah. Gosh,
like a circus? Was that what you were going to say?
What was the bar that we were returning to?
Was it the Nag's Head where they're meeting you, or are you guys moving on from there?
No, it's the dragon's what's name?
The dragon's tooth
The dragon's tooth.
on the corner of Nort and
Nort.
Cavnarum. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Right.
dragon's tooth and Nort.
All right. So.
It's not too far from where we are, so.
Right. Yes, indeed. It's not very far at all. It's about 10 minutes walk, probably.
Yep.
Okay, so you leave the Daughters of Twilight Temple, Solanor, and head off down the main street past Baishan to Nort, and you find the Dragon's Tooth Inn on the corner. And you can hear music coming from within. And it's beginning to get a little bit dim because the first sun is going down. The weather is getting a bit grim also, actually. The clouds are kind of beginning to well up around Vaingate at present. You can hear singing and some sort of music coming from within as you stand outside.
Perhaps we should go in.
Yes, it seems friendly enough.
Friendly enough. All right, so you wander in, and you see these three. They've been there for a little while by now, I assume. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What have you guys been doing for the last 15 minutes while you've been waiting?
I think at this point Edric has probably got a flagon and he's dancing on a table.
Is he just?
I am therefore dancing with Edric.
Yeah!
All right. Okay, so you get up on the table and...
they would have seen a mule outside as they came in.
Right, there's a mule outside as you come in. Okay, Francis is the mule outside as they come in.
Would I have recognised Francis?
You might well have recognised Francis, actually, Leith.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might have given him a pat on the nose as you went in, and you might have licked...
Oh, this is Mr. This is Mr. Brixton's horse, donkey, thing. I think they're inside.
Will you two get down from there?
Pardon, I can't hear you from all the way down there, Mr. Brixton. Why don't you come up and grab yourself a flagon?
So, Adric and Idrin, you guys are on the table dancing. You guys can both make perception checks.
Cool. That's a 10.
Right.
Ooh, that's not too dodge.
Okay.
It's 18.
Okay, so Idrin, you're at one end of the table, and Adric, you're at the other end of the table, and you're facing each other, doing this little jig that you picked up in Nort some time ago. And Idrin, what you notice is that there's a large half-orc bouncer coming up behind Adric right now.
I do a jaunty step towards him as like, we're gonna do a cool thing where we're gonna meet together.
Yep.
And as I get up to him in Dwarvish, I say, "Half-orc behind you," and then I jaunt myself backwards.
All right. At that moment, yep.
No, sorry, you go, Russell.
At that moment, Goodale and Leith come through the door.
What's
Would you come up and dance with us?
Oh no, that's okay. I think you're doing just fine without me.
Toddle up to Leith and leave him at the table.
Come on.
No, thank you. Looks like you've been having a wonderful time.
Hey!
Mr.
Mr. Brixton, how is your evening?
As you can see, it's getting worse.
Adric, what are you doing at this very second?
I was on the floor holding Leith's hands.
All right. The half-orc barbarian is leering over you right now, standing next to your head, and leans down and says, "Don't stand on the table."
Right. No table standing. Yep, right, no problem.
Right.
Right, got it.
He helps you up to your feet.
I was standing. holding Lee's hands.
Oh, okay. You're standing on the
stand height normally, sir. Don't worry, he doesn't need any help.
Sorry.
Beg your
For some reason I thought you were lying on the floor, you said.
No, I jump off the table onto the floor to hold his hands.
Okay.
I beg your pardon, I'm always this. Excuse you.
He just returns back to his post in the corner, opposite the other. There's another Orcan bouncer standing on the other side of the room, a woman with red hair, tusks.
I sloppily pour 5 drinks out.
Okay, you sloppily pour 5 drinks out, and the music continues.
And I raise my glass, and I say, here is a toast that come on. Here is a toast that my uncle quite liked. It, let's see if I can translate it properly. It is, yes, it's, may our tables break from abundance and our beds break from love.
May our tables break from abundance and our something from love. Yes, yay! Yes! And there's this halfling standing there next to you drinking as well, by the way. Alright, so, what's next? He says.
I look down and, hang on, do I speak halfling?
Halflings just speak common, I think.
Okay, alright. I don't know this.
At least here they do.
What in God's name are you doing here? You're supposed to be playing music, aren't you?
What? No, not tonight. I'm not playing music tonight. It's my night off. I'm drinking. I'm drinking. You're
What's
Milford.
your name, sir?
Aren't you Milford Brixton? You are Milford Brixton, aren't you? I'm Roland, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Roland.
Typically, I'm also a bard. I must admit, I typically do sing songs, and I'm a bit of a bard as well. But tonight, it's my night off, and I will not be singing or dancing. At least I'm not doing it for money.
Where's your mate?
Oh, yeah, he's not here at the moment. He's in hiding. He's in hiding. You heard?
Because of the song.
Aye. The Fahar the Feckless. Have you heard? You know that song, do you? Fahar the Feckless. So there's this song. Well, do you know who Lord Fahar is? You don't know who he is. You must. Surely you know who Lord Fahar is. He's one of the lords of Grenaldea. And Fahar the Feckless, as is called by our good friend Saranth, the Bard of Vaingate. Fahar the Feckless was responsible for losing one of our prized and valuable magical relics that was given to the human race many thousand years ago by the honourable and most kindly elves. He nods to the 2 elves in the party. Yes, and so he lost it in an auction back to the elves, who simply outbid him in an auction. Why it was even up for auction, I don't know what that was about. And anyhow, the entire Treaty of Vaingate is currently being upended due to Lord Fahar. So my friend Saranth wrote a poem, and it was kind of a song actually, called Fahar the Feckless. And Lord Fahar found him over in Raxtharsis at the Broken Oak Tavern. He found him there and challenged him to a duel. However, he ran away, and so now he's in hiding. So that's...
Smart man.
Aye. So hope that you don't come in contact with Lord Fahar the Feckless, because he is a bit of a crazed... yes, enough said. Right?
Right. Well, Mr. Roland, sir.
Oh, yes.
How would you like it?
Another drink? Yes, another drink on you. Around from Mr. Edred.
I was about to suggest another round on me at your bar of choosing, sir.
Oh, my bar of choosing.
Okay, we'll finish these first, and then we'll move on to the next.
All right, finish these first. Well, I have a think about which bar would be the best bar for me to take you to. So I take it you've been to the Broken Oak Tavern, because that is probably my favourite tavern in all.
We'll go there next. We've been there before, but we haven't been there tonight. Yes, Leaf.
Would anybody care to finish this for me if we are moving on?
I look at Adric and I go,
I really don't think this is my kind of thing.
Oh, that's all right. Well, I think we've got one for Leeds, so Andrew, you can have that.
Well, how
Ethan,
far?
you get that one. I'll finish off this one.
How far do you want to walk?
sorry.
how far do you want to walk to the next tavern? I mean, unless you can fly.
We can walk it. That's the whole part of a crawl, isn't it?
Right, but Vaingate is a very large city, and I mean, if you want to do a crawl, you might want to make a crawl around Grenaldare, but you want to go from here to Raxtarsis. You could die between here and Raxtarsis. You could get mugged. Anything could happen.
Okay. How about...
What's the worst that could happen?
I like the way you think. There's not much in the way of Grenaldare taverns, are there? There's a tap room. No, a tap room. There's a tea house.
Yes.
2 other bars. That's not much.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Variety.
You're quite right. That's true. But it is a start. It is a start. What else could we do? We could go to... I personally think the best bars are at Raxtarsis. I think we're in the wrong place. I mean, if you want to go on a bar crawl, I mean, I like this bar personally here in Nort. But, and there's quite a good one over in Odorath. But I would go over to Raxtarsis and Thrasis. That's probably my favourite place, for bars and taverns. And
Sold. Hey,
so quick question for you lot. Before we head off over there, is it just bars that we're looking for? Are you looking for a bit of what? And
I don't follow.
Friend.
What?
I don't follow.
He's talking about fucking.
Before you say that, Brixton covers the ladies' ears.
Oh, the ladies' ears.
Yes.
Milford Brixton, you're such a polite gentleman.
He's talking about fucking. Not funny, friend. No.
Could
there's a lady present,
Could someone explain to me what all this crawling is about?
Well, you go from pub to pub and you drink, and you keep going until you can't.
Not you and me, Leith. We can observe with Mr. Brixton.
Yes.
Well,
that's right. You can observe with me. Come on.
Well, yes.
You can drink. I just don't want you to feel that you must drink.
No pressure here, lad. That's all I do.
Never feel you must. Even if I pour something out for you, never feel that you must. Even sip at it. It's perfectly fine if you leave it alone.
I don't mean to stare the gift horse in the mouth, as it were, but that really is not to my taste. So
not at all. You hear the spirit of the thing. That's all that matters.
Yes.
Very good.
They want your company, is what they're saying.
Hey,
Oh well, yes, of course we should. We should socialise, shouldn't we?
Get to know Master Leith, Mr.
Aye, socialise. Socialise. And what's your name, milady?
Lethal kind of being down to meet him.
And then I scruffle up his hair.
Hey, stop that. Who are you scruffling?
No,
Leith.
Oh, you can scruffle him, I don't mind.
Yes, no, I wouldn't be so familiar with you, Roland, not just yet.
Yes.
Hey, can I interest you in a mule?
What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
He's talking about Francis.
Francis, my friend Francis.
Who is Francis? And
if you wish to ride, you two. Wait, Francis will take you.
What are you talking about?
Not you. I'm not talking to you.
Why are you not talking to me, Milford Brixton?
I'm talking
I wrap
to...
my arm around Roland's shoulders. No, you're with us. You're crawling.
Aye.
You're riding the mule.
So we're going for a pub crawl, is that right? And we're off?
Yes.
Ready? All right, let's go. And he starts moving towards the door.
Edric slams back his 2 flagons.
All right.
This way you...
I do a long draw, and then as we're leaving, I grab Leith by the shoulder and kind of pull him back behind the crowd.
All right. You get out to the front door, and you can make perception checks.
Perception checks.
I stand by the mule,
17.
but I keep an eye on...
Oh!
20.
At 2, good Adric. At 2. Whatever Latin is.
Edric.
It's a 17.
At 2, my guy. Hey.
Okay, Leith, you noticed that those 2 soldiers that you were communicating with earlier this evening are standing outside the bar. near Francis, actually. They look like they're just being innocuous, basically. But
I will just like turn to the rest of the group and usher them back into the barn.
What's going on? What's wrong? What? No. We're going on a pub crawl. You can't just stop. What are you doing?
Go back in.
Why am I not going back in? I'm going for a pub crawl.
Hey, Leith.
Mr. Adric, what's all this about?
Why are you
Go
doing
back
this?
in. Go back in.
Right, let's go back in. Let's
Okay,
go back in.
we're in now. We're in now.
We're in.
What's the problem?
Those soldiers.
Adrian, you noticed the soldiers, but nobody else did.
There were guards out there.
Or Adric, you did.
Near Milford's Mule. They have been following us since we made inquiries at the town hall.
Yeah, what did you do?
We
You've
did
been
confront them.
making
but,
inquiries.
they've
This is very interesting.
I'll just go tell them to sod off then. We've got things to do, like it sussed.
Yes.
All right. I'm
We
going
might
to
need some assistance at the town hall as well to procure the information that we need from them.
Not to worry. Let's go. Andrew's gonna toddle outside to go tell them all.
I'm going with you.
I think my assistance might be needed in this situation as well, and I quickly hurry off.
All right, so you're coming with them. Okay, so you go out with them. Goodale, where are you in this whole mix?
I'm hanging back and I'm going to whisper to Mr. Brixton. Mr. Brixton, who is this Mr. Roland person? Do you know him from before?
Oh, he's a bard.
Okay.
No worries, he's a bard.
Okay.
He thinks he's a famous bard, but he's not a famous bard. I mean, he's not the bard of Vaingate now, is he? And I know the bard of Vaingate. He can sing. He can actually sing. He can play an instrument, you know. Okay, do you two want to go on the mule, or do you want to walk?
I think I'd better go and see if these friends of ours are unhappy.
You've got friends, have you, you two? Okay.
She means friends.
Oh, friends. Those kind of friends.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go out and see how the other...
All right, so pause with you guys. So Adric and Idrin and Roland have headed outside already, and they've wandered outside, and they see these two guards standing over by...
Good evening, officers. Is there a problem? Has Francis been making a nuisance of himself?
Who's Francis?
The arse.
He looks at his friend. That's not Francis.
No, Francis, the mule.
What did you call... You saying I'm an arse? Oh, I'm
Francis the mule.
just messing with you. Are you saying the mule's name is Francis? Is this your mule, is it?
He's a friend. Has he been caused making use of himself?
Wait a minute, slow down. Did you say he was your friend, or did you say he's your mule?
The mule of a friend.
The mule
Or
of
a
a
friend
friend.
of a mule.
In which case, he's not really your concern, is it then? Is it?
Well, I'm looking after him.
I don't know. If one of our friends fell over, I'd assume that even though they're not our friend, it's a friend of a friend. It should be part of our concern, should it not?
What's your name, sir?
Me.
He's looking.
Adric Fogda.
He's looking at Idrin now. You're Adric Fogdar. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Edwin Montcalf.
Adrian Montcoff. And have you got papers, Mr. Montcoff?
Oh, I do, in fact, have papers. And I hand him my papers.
Goodness, you do have papers. And he reads your papers for a moment. Remarkably, this guard apparently can read. And he looks up and he says, "Well, forgive me, my lord. You're Baron Montcoff, is that correct?"
That is correct, yes.
Oh, you'll forgive me, sir. This mule here is, well, all I can say is part of an ongoing operation of research. He looks at his friend, like hoping that he's used the right words. And this mule here is what we might call in the business a person of interest.
What did it do? Steal some gold and some mule?
I'm afraid that's not something I can divulge, my lord. It's business of the city of Vaingate.
I understand. I perfectly understand. You can't declassify classified information.
That's right. I don't have the sort of clearances required for that sort of thing, my lord.
No, I understand. But as you can tell, it's just sort of sitting here outside of an inn. It's not really... can't possibly be doing anything particularly...
Well, obviously, my lord, it's not the ass itself that's the problem. It's the owner of the ass. Said ass owner might be of a person of interest also, you see, my lord. Yeah.
Well, if we see him, I'm sure we could clear us up and direct him to you. It shouldn't be much of a problem.
It's probably best that you two just move on.
Okay.
This is...
wait for our friend, if that's all the same to you.
I don't want to be pushy or nothing, but as I say, this is official Vaingate business, and unless
I understand, we're getting a bit rather tired, aren't you, sirs? And I'm going to cast sleep at 2nd level on these gentlemen. So that's 78. I don't know exactly how to roll that. I know I can roll that on D&D Beyond.
Yes, you
I'll
can.
find a way.
Yep.
I can't find a way.
Yeah, well, you take the D8 from the sidebar, from the free rolling dice thingy in the corner, and you click it 7 times, and it will come up with a little meta number in the corner above it until you get 7, and then you press the roll button.
I don't have it on here.
So when you
I don't know where it's gone.
Okay, you're looking at your character sheet on D&D Beyond, right?
I am.
Okay, and are you looking at it on a computer screen or some other type of screen?
I'm looking on a computer screen.
Okay.
I might have accidentally turned it off.
Bottom left, there's a red button. Or a blue button, depending on your character sheet.
It's got a D20 on it.
Yeah, it's a D20. There's a picture of a D20 in the bottom left corner.
It's not there for me.
Okay.
I have seen it before when
Okay.
I have played before, but it's gone. If you could do it for me, Adric, thank you very much.
All right,
Otherwise,
Adric, you roll the 7D8, was it?
That is a 40.
Wow.
So their pool of 40 hit points.
Okay, they collapse to the floor.
I quickly back towards the bar, open the bar door and go, come on, quick, let's go.
No. Hey, can I have a look around to see if there's like an open storm drain or a bush just to push them into?
There's a barn. I mean, they're standing next to a stable, actually.
Cool. I'm gonna grab both their ankles and drag them and shove them under a pile of hay.
Okay.
Brixton, leave. Get down. Let's get out of here. Come on.
You hear someone say, you hear someone's voice say, "Did you see that? Those 2 guards just fell asleep like that. I think it was that wizard."
What's going on?
This is as Goodale and Brixton and
Just go. Come on.
Leith's going to poke his head out around the door and make sure the coast is clear and follow those 2.
All right.
All right. So where are you going?
We're going towards Broken Oak Tavern.
Broken Oak. Okay. So
Brixton, you need to keep an eye on your arse. Those guards are looking for him particularly to get to you.
Really?
Aye. Well, that's what
I
they said.
haven't done anything in the last couple of days, though.
Aye, Dave,
famous,
on
Mr.
ongoing
Brixton.
investigation. We're just having a good time. Just a good time.
all right.
How long has been that good time? A long time.
Yes, well, having
Okay.
a good time can't necessarily be divided from real life, can it? I mean, these gentlemen are interested in both Mr. Brixton and ourselves, so I suggest we move on
Yes, to the Broken Oak.
Broken Oak.
Broken Oak.
before they wake up.
All right, so you get to the Cavnarum Gate and you enter the Droob and you head down into the muddy district of the Droob and the Rivertown Market Crossing Way. And you head on up to the Pax Adrius Gate where things begin to get a bit nicer and flasher. You get to the Pax Adrius Gate and you see some guards out the front of the Pax Adrius Gate and they are asking people for identity papers and such to get in there. And they're forming... There's a bit of a queue over there.
We have identity papers? I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
You, what's your name? Oh, my name is Lady... All right, you can go in. All right, show us your papers. Show us your papers. What have you got there? Oh, all right, love. All right. Yeah. No. And they're just letting people through one at a time, and they're checking everybody's identities. People that don't have identity papers, they're kind of looking them up and down and asking them some questions and what have you. So some of them get through even without identity papers on them, apparently.
Easy enough. I go up to him and I show him my
Evening,
papers.
sir.
I know what they're looking for me for. I just remembered. Ooh,
Did you
oh
know?
my God.
Are you saying this in front of the guards?
No,
Mr.
I do. I kind of said it quietly to the rest of them.
All right, this is on the way up to the guards.
Yeah, before I get to them.
All right, there's a bit of a muddy hill up to the guards at the gate, the Pax Adrius gate.
Let's perhaps talk about that when we get to some privacy in the next bar mill. I think out in the street might be a little bit too open.
Hello, what's your name? Which one of you guys is first? Is Adrian, is it?
Yes, sure. Yes, hello, my name is Edrin Montkoff. Here are my papers, and these
Adrian Montkoff.
Yes, and these fine compatriots of mine are my retainers, as you can see, and I point to my family sigil. As you can see, these are my retainers, my guide, my bursar expert, my cleric, and my accountant.
Very well, on you go. Get on through.
Thank you kindly.
All right, next. All right, and you head through the gate that Pax Adrius, and
Your
you...
cleric, Mr. Monkoff.
What?
Your cleric.
That's what
Well,
the man
as
said.
you can tell, I need help with my gout. I should think that I would assume in that situation.
Wait,
I would do
wait,
really well.
excuse me, he forgot to mention me.
Of course.
No,
And
come
my
back,
And my, I'm so sorry. He's our entertainer.
He might have mentioned that, or it might be the first time through there, but no, I get left behind, don't I?
I'm sorry. We've been together so long.
So long, you forgot my name, you forgot my job. I'm very upset, Mr. Montkoff. I'm very upset. You've no idea. Thank you,
Roland the Bard, of course. This is my good friend Roland. I apologize, sirs. We're a bit of a...
Roland the Bard, you say? I've heard of Roland the Bard. Wait a minute. Probably about time we left. Don't you think? Should we get going? Roland.
Yes.
How do I know that name, Roland the Bard? Yes,
I love
I'm.
it when a DM gets to play characters against himself.
Right, there's a little bit. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. Stop hang around, please, quickly. I'm gonna pee myself.
Hey, that's a good point. Do you want the halfling to pee himself? Terrible.
Get on with it. Out of here.
No, let's go. And I turn to
pee.
Goodale and I say, I didn't mean anything unsavory about that remark. I'm sorry, Goodale. I meant that purely in professional confidence.
Oh no, I was merely amused. I was getting my own papers ready and I didn't need to.
Oh no, of course. Anything to ease our transit, I think would be good. As well as now that it seems that 3 of the 6 of us are being followed.
Indeed.
3 of the 6 of you are being followed. What? What have you done?
Roland, you're one of the 6. You do realize?
Yes. But
Yeah.
I'm not being followed.
But you're one of the 6.
Wait a minute. Am I being followed?
Well, the guards seem to be a little suspicious of you, friend.
No, surely not.
He'd heard of you, but he was thinking about what he...
Well, that's because I'm a bard. Obviously, he's heard of me. I'm famous. I'm famous all over the world, from Twaddle to Vaingate to Dagdagial, all the way north to the city of Ankhorn. I've been everywhere in the world. Well, maybe not everywhere, but I've been in a few places.
Oh, if you've been everywhere in the world, show us to the Broken Oak then.
Oh, no problem. Let's go.
Hey, let's go.
He starts trotting off down the muddy street to the Broken Oak Tavern in Thrasis. And you arrive, and you go into the Broken Oak Tavern. It's this large tavern, kind of a square-shaped room as you go in through the doors. And there's a kind of a courtyard in the center of the tavern that has a big tree, an oak tree, oddly enough, growing up through the center of the building. The building is 3 floors high. There is another bard playing in one corner, but much more subdued and quietly than at the last tavern that you were at. There's a host of tables around the room, and a majorly large, there's a large bar itself in one area on the north-hand side of the room. You see a table of dwarves talking about things over in one corner quietly. There's a bunch of humans all over the place, people walking in and out of the place the whole time. It's quite crowded. And yeah, there's a dwarf behind the bar, and a young lady waves at Milford Brixton from over by the bar. Milford!
Hello, my darling.
She nods. How are you, Milford? It's been a while. Haven't seen you for, must be a week by now.
Oh, I brought you some customers.
You brought, oh, thank you, Milford. Thank you. Make sure you get them to tip, all right? I hope they're tippers. I don't want to be bringing those stingy bastards from Isbit.
These guys aren't stingy, Miller.
And good to hear it. I hope you're loaded. I hope you brought a bunch of loaded pansies in here.
Oh, they're loaded, all right.
Rafe walks straight up to the tree and goes, whoever would build a tavern around a tree? Or grow a tree in the middle of a tavern?
That would be me, says a voice from nearby.
Oh, I'm just wondering as to the nature of the tree.
There is this large dwarf standing behind you with a heavy, thick beard. He says, I'm Oakenstaff, and that's my tree, and this is my tavern.
Oh.
And who'll be you then?
My name is Leif Mistralath. I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance.
Of the elves I see there.
Yes.
Oh yes, and you've come far then, from to Larathian.
Of those parts, maybe a little further south.
Oh yes. And what might you be doing in Vaingate?
Well, I've found myself here after much travel and associated myself with these fine people that have.
You've been here before, haven't you? I've seen you once or twice before.
Oh, yes. I've been here with Mr. Brixton.
Ah, Mr. Brixton. You're an associate of his.
Yes, I am, yes.
Ah, it all makes sense now. And who are these your friends then?
Yes. Can I bring you over and introduce you to them?
Ah, I don't have time for that.
Oh, could you perhaps tell me more about the tree?
It's a tree. What would you like to know? It's an oak tree.
Is there some significance to it being here and why the tavern is built around it?
Make an insight check, please. Open insight check. For anybody that wants to spend their divinity points on an insight check DC.
Well, I rolled a 19.
Oh, a 19. Well, I guess it's a bit late now. He's rolled his 19 and you succeed. In which case...
Whoops.
No, that's fine. The audience was too slow. That's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so you make your insight check. What you realize is that he's trying to conceal a certain amount of almost disdain.
For me?
Seems to be that way. Like your question is, he doesn't really understand your question or why you're asking this question. It seems like a dumb question to him.
Well, I'm fascinated to find out the history of not just the city, but the particular denizens of this place.
The what?
And,
denizens?
The history that lies in such a building, in such a
I planted this tree here 93 years past, here at this spot with an acorn, that I had brought here from the Banakaya.
Oh, well, that is an interesting story.
It was a tree from my father's farmlands, before me and before him.
Oh,
So it came from our land in the Banakaya, and it is representative, you might say, of my dwindling lineage.
Oh, so you have some greater knowledge of dwarven history, then?
If you think I'm some kind of dwarven scholar, you'd be wrong. I own a tavern, my friend.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to. I'm just.
Would you like a drink?
Yes.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Around on me.
Lydia!
Ancient history
Lydia!
stuff.
Lydia! Yes, my lord. Get these men a drink. And whoever she is, are you a cleric?
Indeed I am, sir. I believe my friend is probably interested because in the elven lore there's a god called Rilifane Ralathil, and he is associated with oak trees. So.
Aye, Rilifane, yes, the great tree. Aye, I'm aware of that god in the Saldarine of the elves. He seems mightily impressed. Aye.
I didn't quite make that connection, but yes, yes, that is.
He looks back at you. It looks to me like you need to make some connection with your own history and your own gods instead of asking me about mine.
Well, I do have some reason to be asking about dwarven history. If I might convince you to join us.
He looks over at you, Adric. And have you met him before?
This guy, no. My entire time within Vaingate, I've been deliberately staying away from the other dwarves.
Okay. He looks at you, and I would like you to make an insight check, please. And we can have an open check. You've got 10 seconds.
17.
Oh no, you don't. You don't have 10 seconds. It's too late. These players are onto me now.
We're just all overexcited with our dice tonight.
The players are onto it. They've figured out the system, and they're not going to get screwed by any smart aleck viewers wanting to spend.
Also, you almost fucked somebody a berry once. I'm gonna fuck it again.
True that. Okay, so you rolled. What was it? A 17?
17.
Okay, you get this impression from Oakenstaff that he's basically looking at you with this look that says, "Help!"
I'm gonna walk up and I put an arm around Leith's waist and go, Mr. Leith, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Let's not bother the nice tavern owner so he can get back to his job.
Well, perhaps he might be able to help us with our inquiries.
I assure you, if I was something of a scholar, if there's specialized knowledge the dwarves had down, and I don't know it, he won't. I was merely curious about the library.
I didn't mean to be presumptuous about you, Mr.
No, don't you worry. I didn't tell you. That's fine.
I didn't think you had that sort of knowledge, but if you're really...
Don't you worry. I've told you nothing about myself. It's fine. Let's all have a drink and just have a good time.
Next check is 14, by the way.
Get you a nice shandy, Mr. Leith.
Thank you, T. Earl Greyhot.
Shandy, that's from the
Shandy!
on the ceiling.
Lydia wants a shandy. All right,
Or at
Lydia.
least some sparkling water, maybe.
Oh, sparkling water now.
I'm certainly willing to try some of this alcohol, but just the things you've been feeding me so far don't feel very to my palate. So,
What about a cider?
Don't worry, young man. We'll find you something that you like. We've got all kinds in here.
Oh yes, very good.
All right. So they start lining up different drinks on the table.
I pat Leith on the back and go, yes!
I'm patting him lower on his back. Aye!
Leith, you are going to make a Constitution check.
You are leading this child astray. Oh, no. I rolled an 8.
Oh dear. Oh dear. What happens, Leith?
Leith finds a particularly sweet, really nice spirit.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like a fortified wine.
All right.
That he particularly likes. It's
For
very, very sweet.
For 500 divinity, one of the audience can name this alcohol, and we will make it canon. But it has to be a tasteful name.
Leaf, what are you doing?
I maintain final decision.
And he's like, oh, this is wonderful. This is,
You drink it, Leaf. You drink it.
It tastes like raisins and sunshine.
Yes, but be careful. You know, this is your first time. You might want to take it slowly. Edric and I are seasoned alcoholics.
I do understand the pleasure that can be gained from this sort of imbibing.
Yes, leave moderation. If there's anything I can tell you, moderation is the key. And then I get my own drink and just scull that back.
As Adrian says, I'm just pouring one back.
We both just pour it back. We're such hypocrites.
I'll tell you what, Leaf. You drink that one and I'll get your next one for you.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. Thank you.
Goodale, what are you doing right now?
Sitting quietly, shaking my head. But a little bit relieved that Leith has got on the terps as well.
Fair enough. All right.
Brixton turns his seat around, you know, he has the back facing the front and sits that way and is kind of going,
Yep.
So I lean over to Leith and I say, Leith, did you get anything from the library for me?
Yes, I did ask some questions, but all that they could explain to me from the Daughters of Twilight was that there is nothing north of what was the name of the place?
Vanderhold. And thank you.
Vanderhold. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I give Leith a slight pat on the back, and then I call out to Oakenstaff.
Yep.
I go, Oakenstaff.
Aye.
I look to Adric and I say, strongest shot?
Aye. Of course.
All right, then. Strongest shot. The strongest stuff we have is a wee dram we got from a place called, well, I'm not allowed to tell you the name of the place, actually.
Fine, as long as it is strong and good.
It's called Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath. Interesting.
Leaf.
Yes, Milford.
Starts filling
Go
this
ahead, the dragon's breath.
stuff up.
I'm quite happy with this.
It's a blue liquid, and it kind of has this kind of fiery spiral of energy wafting around in it.
Oh my. That's...
Anything that doesn't look like fire.
You do realize this is extremely expensive.
Yes.
Expensive how?
Well, like, very, very expensive. You want to know how much?
Yes.
Oh, well, obviously, we have some gold, but I'd rather not have to clean your floors to make up the debt.
Can you afford 100 gold for a glass?
We can, but I'm anything that's not fiery looking.
So you're saying you don't want the finest alcohol in the world?
I'll have one.
I'm saying I don't want something that looks like it's gonna set anything on fire.
Oh, it won't set anything on fire, except perhaps your spirit.
A little of that left, and I hand him 100 gold.
Okay, you hand over 100 gold. And he pours out one large thimbleful in a small glass. It's not a glass, because glass doesn't really exist very much in Vaingate. It's a small goblet.
Well, I don't exactly...
Master Moncorf, you won't let me drink by myself, will you?
I don't have a lot of occasion to drink with others, so, and I hand over $100.
Yes.
That's 200 gold, all right.
Yep. I raise my glass and I say, may we enjoy our lives like we enjoy this drink.
Milford.
Well, we'll see.
Milford, Lydia puts her hand on your shoulder and she gives you a little squeeze. And
Anytime, darling.
she wipes off your table and gives you another glass of whatever crap you're drinking. Ale or something. All right.
I'm just having water, but I'm not telling anybody else.
All right, so Edrin and Adric, you're both going to make constitution checks with disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
No!
With
So I can't exactly do it on the thing which I'm doing. Oh! Okay.
It's a
So,
6.
hang on, let me see what I get as a result. Oh no! I rolled a natural 20 and a 4.
So that's a massive fail. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, Edrin, Sharkety Shark Bums, you might not want to stick around for this next part. So if you're averse to puking, close your eyes because Edrin, you just throw up everything, all the contents of your stomach for the last 2 days just ejects at full trajectory, at full projection from your mouth. Across the floor, across the table, across the next bit of floor, somebody's knees. It's quite revolting. You've never power thrown like that before in your life. Adric, what did you roll?
You rolled a 6. I got a 6.
You similarly have pretty much the same effect.
Can I like have felt it and tried to like throw it over to my helmet?
You can describe the spray pattern. Yeah, you get it in your.
Try to get my hands up.
Some of it's in your helmet. You can get it into your helmet, but it's not all going to go in your helmet.
Oh, brilliant. So it just shotguns out like the where the face paint goes down onto the ground
Out of your
the
nose.
Side. It just looks like a shotgun, but it just looks like buckshot.
Right, and at that point, the pair of you pass out.
Can I actually, instead of just suddenly coming up, can I have taken the shot, stumbled over to Gadale, and said, you know Gadale, and then felt it, and just to the side, so it doesn't get anything on her, but she's just seen this dragon's breath, and then I go, apologies for that, and then I just hit the floor.
A moment before I pass out, I look at Oakenstaff, I just smile, and I fall backwards off the stool.
Okay.
He puts down his glass and says, is that the effect of alcohol? I'm not sure I want
That,
to drink
my
anymore.
friend.
Anyone else for a dragon's breath? Says Oakenstaff. 100 gold.
No, no.
Oh, but I've poured it for you, Mr. Leith. You have to drink it now. You've basically paid for it. I cannot put it back in the bottle.
But no, I didn't ask for it. I didn't pay for it.
You didn't, did you? Well, someone's going to have to drink this glass of dragon's breath. He looks around at you.
Sons of bitches.
Mr. Roland?
You look around for Mr. Roland. Mr. Roland is remarkably invisible right now.
Mr. Roland, you would like some dragon's breath, wouldn't you? You'd
What?
like to try
What?
that?
No, I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. No. I'm. Little hand comes out from under. Head face pops out. No, thank you, Mr. Mistralath. I'm quite fine over here with my glass of ale. Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Mr. Brixton, you're volunteering.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying, because of your hospitality and your kindness, I think you should drink it on us.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I'm well past my drinking days, my lord. Nay, perhaps the cleric would like it.
Oh, no, I don't.
He walks
think
over and
so,
puts it in
my
front of
lady.
Goodale. Dump. There you go, milady. That one's on me, somewhere, seeing as no one else will drink it. You can...
She puts it away.
I insist.
She's gonna slam it, no problem.
I tell you what, my lady, you could use some of your talents to make sure that stays put, you know.
Okay.
So take
Being
it down
corrupted.
as quickly as you can, and then...
If I give myself a blessing before I do this, perhaps that'll help.
Yep, I would think so. Now let me just check on the spell blessing. What does it do?
You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range.
So you could have blessed them.
I could have.
But you didn't.
Indeed. Can I bless them belatedly? I don't know.
You could bless Brixton.
Bless our recovery.
You could bless Brixton.
Yeah, he might need it shortly, hey?
Right.
Whenever a target makes an attack or roll, yeah.
Oh, no.
Does it say anything about saving throws?
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
Saving throws.
Bless.
The target can roll. Oh yeah, or saving throw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. D4 and add the number to the roll. Okay. So you're gonna drink it?
Probably not good for my epilepsy, but
It might boost it somewhat.
All right.
maybe it's a cure.
Might be a cure. You never know. You never know.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
So you're going to make a Constitution check with disadvantage, and then you're going to add your D4 after the roll. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Constitution. Is that at the top? The line at the top?
Just underneath that is a box that says saving throws, and it's got all of those same stats again, but this time they're saving throws. 2 of them will have black dots next to them, telling you that you're proficient in those saving throws.
Okay. So I'm rolling Constitution.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. With the
Disadvantage. Yeah. So you right click and choose disadvantage.
All right. So I rolled a 2 and a 10.
That would be a 2. Okay, and then you get to add your plus 1d4.
All right. So that's the red button in the corner?
Yep. And then the d4 is the pyramid-shaped one. The maximum that you can roll is a 6, I'm afraid, and that's about what Adric achieved, I believe.
I don't know what it says. What was that?
Looks like it's a 3.
So
3,
total
yeah.
of 5.
So a 5.
You're on my level.
You're on his level, on
Oh
Edrin's
boy.
level. All right, so you can tell us what happens. I think you've got the gist of the outcome here.
Okay. So I break into a sweat. I look at Mr. Brixton and I say, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Brixton. That was most ill-advised. And I turn to the side and chunder on the floor. Oh no, in a pot plant. There's a pot plant.
All right, into a pot plant. Off you go. There you go. All right.
Oh, my mate's actually done that once.
Oh no. Okay, so
In the middle of a speech as well.
in the middle of a speech. Oh dear.
Someone else was giving the speech, but you could just hear him in the plot.
Right, and so Milford. Okay, Miss Leith, what are you doing at the moment? You're still awake.
Leith's holding Gadale's hair and saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Gadale. I should have drank that myself. I'm dreadfully sorry."
All right, and Milford, what are you?
And I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on her.
Okay, lesser restoration on her. You can tell us what that does. Milford, what are you doing?
You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it.
Okay.
I assume you're going to allow this.
Yeah,
The
it's
condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
poisoned.
Poisoned? Yep. Okay. So lesser restoration on Gadale.
The tiniest pot plant imaginable, says T. Earl Grey Hot. Can't even tell there was a plant in there anymore. Oh dear. Oh dear.
And I'll whisper to her,
Thank you for not puking on the tree.
Fair enough.
It's just a bit sacred.
So, Milford, what are you doing now while this is all going on? You're still sitting there with your head...
Well, I know where the mops and buckets are, so I go and get a mop and a bucket, because I know he's going to scream at me any minute now. And I
Right now.
clean it up.
All right. So while you're cleaning it up, and Lydia gives you a little bit of help, but mostly she leaves it to you. She has a bit of a chuckle, and Oakenstaff laughs heartily, and then he walks off, and he goes upstairs and disappears.
And I get some guys that are pretty strong to lift up my companions, and 2 of them I'll tie to the donkey. Okay.
Okay.
2 of them I'll tie to the donkey.
Which 2 are you getting put on the donkey?
There's only 2 that are drunk now. So.
Actually, that's true. Right. So,
Yeah.
all right.
The
So
2 that are drunk now.
Edrin and Adric thrown on the back of a donkey. All right.
Yeah.
So you brought Francis for a reason, I see.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I had a feeling this was going to happen.
Okay.
Okay, and I asked Gadale how she's feeling.
Much better now, thanks to Mr. Leith. Thank you, Mr. Leith.
You're very welcome.
Okay, we're going back now. I think that was the pub crawl pretty much.
Do you mind if I come with you? Where are you going? Can I
It's
come?
a place you can't get into, Jacko.
Whoa, wait a minute. Well, no way. There is no place in Vaingate that I can't get into.
Do you want to go into the dig or not?
Dig what?
There's a dig you can't get into.
There's no dig or dives in Vaingate that I can't get into.
Are you saying that you've got the abilities of a rogue then?
What are you talking about? Look at his face. Who's going to say no to this?
Come with us and you can watch that no happening.
We can try. All right.
Okay.
Come on then. Let's go. Come on. Where are you going?
By the way, how much do you want to bet you can't get in?
You want to bet against me as to how much I will not be able to get into. What is this place again? It's some kind of special secret club, is it?
No, you said you could get in. You didn't.
I just want to know what the stakes are here, Mr. Brixton. Like how much?
50 gold.
50 gold. I'll bet you 100 gold I can get into any place that you can get into in Vaingate.
Oh, can you now?
Aye.
Are we gonna do that legally or illegally?
What do you mean legally or illegally? What do you mean by that? You mean can I get in illegally? Depends where you're going. Is it legal to even go where you're going in the first place? Is that a fair bet? Come on, I don't think legal's got anything to do with it, Mr. Brixton. I'm talking to you. You're the most infamous rogue I know.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
All right, come on, let's go. Chop, chop.
Okay, he's walking along with his passengers.
All right.
And making sure he's keeping up with the other 2.
All right. So where are you going? You're going back to the Barkile Envoy
Yeah. These 2 aren't going to be doing anything for a while.
All right. Well, you get to the Asterion Gate, and as usual, your friends the guards are waiting there, at the gate. No blades, no bows. Stop. State your business. Who are you? What's your name?
Is this the same gate we came through to get here?
Yeah, but the guards have changed since then.
All right. My lord's got his papers here.
Hang on, Asterion.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gone through.
You've left.
The Pexadrius Gate, no problem.
Yeah, because leaving is not so much of a big deal.
Oh right. Okay.
My lord's got his papers here. I'm just his man. As you can see, he's had a bit much to drink tonight.
I see. So he's got papers, does he?
Here they are here.
Oh, I see. You know I, by all rights, should be putting him in the infirmary for this.
I know, but if you could see me clear, I'd appreciate it.
You wouldn't
I've
happen
got
to have a
tuck
couple
him
of...
in yet and get him in his pajamas, you know.
I'll see to him as well before we put him in his bed.
Oh, my lady, you look like you might be from the Daughters of Twilight based on your robes. Is that right?
That is correct. Here are my papers.
Oh, you've got papers too. Very well. On your way then. Pass on through. Good luck.
Thank you, my good man.
Blessings of the Seldarine.
And to you.
And off you go in through the Asterion Gate, and you arrive at, eventually, the Barakyle Envoy, and you head in through the Arch Gate into the courtyard. There's various wizards about, and ravens, as you know. And Xandor Rem comes wandering over to you. Hello, what's going on here? Are you all right?
Yeah, no, it's fine, sir. I'm sorry.
You told me that you were going to go to do some... What were you going to do? You're going to see your friend Drazael. You've been away all day.
Yeah, exactly what you said, sir.
All days?
These two decided to, well, hang one on, you might say. I tried to stop them, sir, but you know...
Mr. Brixton, this is expressly against the rules, my friend.
I know. But, you know, we tried. We tried to stop them, but it's been a while since they've been out, you know.
Look, we're going to have to talk about this. I can't have this sort of thing going on. This is not really acceptable.
Do we have to talk about it tonight, my lord?
All right, when they wake up, Mr. Brixton, I would very much appreciate it if you would, if you could all come down and see me in my office, please.
Oh, no problem, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You know, we're talking about that business of a bonus, and then you go and do something like this. It's just ridiculous.
No, I didn't go and do something like this. I retrieved the dead bodies here. They're not dead, but you know what I mean.
All right, well, keep them alive then. I mean, I can smell the alcohol on the pair of them from here. That's disgusting.
I know, but yeah. One's heard bad news about his wife, and the other one, well...
Is she all right?
Helping him get over it, you know.
Bad news about his wife. Who is this?
My lord here, my friend here. He points to the lord.
Edrin?
Yeah.
Edrin?
He doesn't know if he's got a wife, but he's going to have one now.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, maybe some special compensation can be made for that. But again, this is a direct breach of what I asked you all not to do.
Yes, sir. I realize that. Please,
you really needed to get out of there and back in here as quickly as possible. You know the danger that this could have caused us. Yes. Who is this?
Yes, sir.
I'm Roland. I'm a bard. Mr. Brixton, I think you owe me a 50 gold, don't you? 100 gold, in fact. Who is this, and what is he doing in here? You need to get out of here, whoever you are. I'm just a bard. It's all right. I'm fine. I mean, I'm not going to hurt anyone. I mean, look at me. I'm not doing anything wrong. You need to get out of here right now. You are very much in a place where you do not wish to be or stay, all right? Oh, well, look, I mean, no, I'm fine. What are you talking about? Brixton, explain it.
I'm sorry, but you're not allowed in. There's nothing I can do about it.
You didn't tell me we were coming to see the Wizards of Barakyle. Come on, that's not fair. You said we were going to some dig somewhere. I thought it was like going to be a nightclub.
Oh, it is a nightclub.
There's not a nightclub. These are wizards. They'll do things to you, Brixton. Don't you know about this? I don't know what you're talking about, halfling, but I think you should. And you see his eyes light up and flash blue for a moment, and he says, "Leave." And Roland kind of stops. I think I should probably leave. And he turns around and he bursts into tears and he trots out through the main gate.
I couldn't get rid of him.
Brixton, what are you playing at? What does this halfling know?
He doesn't know anything.
You're going to have to eliminate him, you know that.
Oh, that's no problem. You want me to go do it now?
You probably make sure it's quiet, make sure it's done, and make sure nobody sees you.
All right.
You'd get rid of the evidence. I don't want anybody finding out what's going on here. You know that. Everybody here is in grave danger.
I can do that.
Your friends could be dragged in front of the High Court here by the Justice Wardens and put to death. Not just them, me.
Now, if you could just calm down.
I'm very calm, Mr. Brixton.
Relax.
Please don't tell me to relax.
Because I'm going to go and handle it right now,
Very
sir.
good then, Mr. Brixton, and you come back to my office when you're done.
Straight away, sir.
All right?
I guess that leaves myself and Goodale to put these two
To sleep.
to bed.
Right, now...
Mr. Brixton, did Roland actually... when did he arrive? Because since I've been with you, there's been nothing but drinking going on. Could Roland actually know anything?
No, I didn't tell him anything.
Are you going to do the business or what? Are you going to stand here and talk about it?
The business.
Well, he's just left, so you better catch up with him.
I take off and find him.
Right. Goodale, did Leith and Goodale overhear the conversation with Xandor and Milford, do you think? They were kind of standing there. I don't know. It's up to them.
Yeah, it seemed pretty open.
Yeah. Seemed pretty open, didn't it? Okay. All right. Brixton, you follow out through the gate. Make a perception check.
Okay. I always have to do the hard one. Perception. Why am I down there? Ha ha ha.
What's your perception check?
It's
rolling. I see it rolling. I see it rolling.
A 6.
A 6. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. Okay, a 6. You cannot see the halfling anywhere.
Okay. I take a route back to the inn to see if he went that way.
All right. You go back to the inn. All right, you can make an investigation check.
Okay, right.
All right.
19.
All right, you know the routes around this area pretty well, and you also are very good at parkour. So
Yep.
you take a shortcut, and you manage to see Roland wandering down the street by himself, and he heads into an alleyway, trying to take a shortcut of his own towards the Asterion Gate, out through Dundar. And you are on the rooftop, basically looking down at him as he heads into the alleyway.
Okay. I come round behind him
All right.
and I grab him, put my hand over his mouth and go, "Shh, it's me, Milford. I want to talk to you."
What? What? What is it?
Listen to me, you.
What are you doing, Milford?
The wizards want you dead.
Oh, Milford, what have you done?
Shut up, shut up, shut
What have you
up.
done to me, Milford? My whole
Now-
life's flashing before my eyes right now.
Now, just shut your face, will you?
I'm gonna die.
Now listen.
Oh,
I'm-
so sorry.
I'm gonna cut your arm, right?
No, you can't.
No, do you want me to kill you?
No.
Which one do you want, the cut arm or the dead body?
Neither?
Well, I've got to do the cut arm so they can see your blood on my blade.
Okay.
Do you think you can stay out of sight of the wizards?
For how long, though, Milford? I'm famous. I'm a bard. I'm famous, Milford.
Okay, come with me now. Can you parkour?
What?
Can you parkour? Can you move
What?
fast?
What are you talking about, Milford?
Can you jump from building to building?
I'm a fucking halfling. Do you think I can jump from building to building? I've got tiny little legs.
All right, follow me as good as you can now.
Okay. Okay. Which way are we going, Milford?
We're going towards the docks. All right?
Are you going to kill me, Milford?
If I was going to kill you, you'd be dead now. Come on.
How do I know?
Follow me.
All right, I'm following you.
All right.
I'm following you, Milford.
Now answer me this question.
What?
Do you know where your mate is?
You mean Saranth?
Yes, do you know where he is?
No, I don't know. I think he's gone back to his family in the Elven lands.
You're going to take a trip to the Elven lands, you understand that?
I don't want to go to the Elven lands.
You're going to take a damn trip to the Elven lands or I'll kill you here right now. I'll get you a horse and you get going, you understand?
Can I keep my 100 gold, Milford?
You can keep your 100 gold here. I'll give you some more gold.
Thank you, Milford. All right.
But don't you be coming back for a while.
All right.
All right.
I'll go. Can I take your donkey?
No, you're not taking me donkey and it's an ass, for God's sake. How many times do I have to tell people it's an ass? Now come on.
All right. Okay.
I buy him a horse.
Okay.
Literally buy him a horse.
Thank you, Milford. I owe you my life, Milford.
You just remember that now.
All right. And he gets on the donkey.
Hang on. How much does he look like himself?
He looks exactly like himself.
Okay, I'm going to have to take him to the barge and change his face. Disguise him.
All right. So you're going to make a disguise check.
Yeah.
All right. Disguise check coming up. 19.
19.
All right. You turn him into a completely different halfling.
All right. Now you get on a horse. You go where I told you.
Yes, Milford.
And don't be coming back unless you come back with that barge. You understand?
Yes. All right.
All right. Get going.
Okay. Bye. Goodbye, Milford.
Bye.
He rides off.
And I find something that's got a lot of blood in it. I go to the market and make the knife, put knife on, blood on my knife. And
Right, so you kill a chicken or something.
Yeah, kill a chicken.
All right. Very good. And you head back to the Barrack Isle Envoy, I assume.
Yep.
All right. And you come in and you find your companions in the room. So you guys are coming round from being quite sick. All right. You're just sort of woken up. You've been awake for like 5-10 minutes. And you're feeling fucking terrible. And Milford comes in with a knife in one hand and blood all over him.
Yeah, thank you, Milford. If you'd be so kind as just kill me now, that would be brilliant. That would just be fucking.
Can I roll self-control? Because I just may kill him now.
You can make a wisdom check.
I'm gonna put my hand on Edric's head and cast my other lesser restoration.
Oh, your hand is so
DC
lovely
14
and cool.
on your check.
Oh.
Thank you to Olsen. Olsen.
Yeah. I can.
It's gone. Please, you're the best drinking buddy. I tell you what.
I'll cast a lesser restoration on Edrin.
Don't you count on it all the time, mister.
No,
You're trying to lead me astray.
20.
Nice.
I promise you that I don't do that very often.
Thank you so much, Miss Goodale. I mean, I know, I lied about. I feel much better. Thank you. You are truly a blessing.
Right, where are we? What's happened?
Oh, I haven't blacked out like that in years.
Excuse me, my lord. You have a wife. You're very upset about her. Very sad. You understand?
I do have a wife.
Yeah, you're very...
Oops.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
We broke some rules, you see.
Right.
We stayed out a bit too long.
A bit too long. We're not even supposed to be out. Our patron is very upset with us at this moment.
Of course, Xander, he's got enough on his plate.
Of course.
Is it morning or is it?
It's
still nighttime?
no, it's nighttime. It's this is about
Right.
it's going on midnight now.
I'm gonna change my clothes.
What happened?
We
Are
had
you-
that dragon's breath, and it did its job.
I meant more than why
Actually,
Brixton's covered in blood, although
it's
I do remember
not even
walking over to Gadale and then blacking out.
It's not even midnight, actually, I realised, because the whole thing came to a crashing halt when the dragon's breath began. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Why
like-
are you covered
We're
in
up
blood?
just in time to get to work.
It's
I
about,
had to kill a minstrel.
Oh.
They did like Roland. Oh well.
Oh.
Is that all you've got to say?
Aye. Can
No
I
one
roll?
was a human being.
Can I roll an inside check to see if he's lying to me?
you can make an insight check. Milford, you can make a deception check.
Deception check.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, dirty 20.
It's gonna be anything I can get my will. Deception.
Sure as hell hope not.
I'm rooting for
Shall we
Milford.
all do an insight check?
13.
Yeah, sure. You can make an insight check.
Well,
Thirteen.
that's all I have to say, Mr. Brixton, because I love you. You're a bastard, but you're not a bastard. You know?
Goodale believes him.
Okay.
The minstrel is Roland. He's the little halfling fellow.
He is no longer with us
So he's been disposed of for the time being.
for the time being.
I
I've disposed of him.
Oh, they liked that man.
Is Xandor Rem still with us?
No, you're in Adric's room now.
Right.
Right. So, how did you get us back in, Brixton?
The mule.
Well, I mean,
It
Xandor
was
would have
actually-
been very
it was
upset.
actually-
He was very upset, but I don't know how he got you. I was busy doing my thing.
It
Right.
was actually Miss Gadale and I that carried you both up the stairs.
Oh.
Thank you
Quite an
very
effort.
kindly.
Again, you're both an absolute blessing to have, and we have been rather
I just found Sharkety Shark's tavern drinks link that she put in the post earlier. Sorry, I missed that. That would have been useful.
we've been rather
Next
uncourteous,
time.
I think, to our good friends.
But you're gonna have to do a lot of crawling, or the pan will just go down the tubes.
I don't think I'll be doing much crawling in a while, actually.
No, as fun as that was, it's once in a while.
All right, I'm going
No,
back to the barracks.
Now, is there anything we should know or have to do before we continue? Because I think it's about just past 7 bells, if my guess is correct.
I've got to go and see him. You want to come and see him with me now?
I believe he wants to see all of us.
All right, come on.
Right. So our story is that.
He did say in the morning, so perhaps we should get some rest first.
Well,
then go.
it's his morning technically. I mean, the point doesn't expect us to be up right now, but it might look better for him to see us sooner rather than later. So
It might give him too much time to think.
Very
This is
good.
true.
Yes.
So our official story is that Idrin's wife has taken exceptionally ill, and we, meaning myself, was consoling him.
Yes,
That'll do.
you were trying to console him, and you did your best.
I did my best.
All right.
Well, shall we?
All right, so you head on down to Xandor Brem's study, and you're standing outside the door.
Good evening, Xandor.
The door opens. Oh, you're here. I see. Well, I hope you're feeling a bit better. You didn't look very well when I last saw you, Mr. Fogdar. I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest.
As well, you should be, sir. I'm terribly sorry. My associate, Mr. Idrin, had it's some terrible news about his wife. So I did the dwarfly thing and tried to console him.
So what happened to him?
No, he his wife has taken a spill down the castle stairs.
You make a deception check for me, please.
Ah, shit. Sure wish I'd taken that cloud giant. Where the hell's deception gone?
So number...
That's a 9.
A mighty 9. He looks at you. She fell down the stairs, did she? Really?
In all honesty, sir, it actually, I felt it better to lie to my compatriots. It wasn't my wife falling down some stairs. You see, my son started a fire at his boarding school.
Your son started a fire at his boarding school.
Yes, and well, not his boarding school, his well, I wouldn't call it his place of education. It was somewhere he went to regularly as a type of tutorage. And it burnt down, and so my wife and I have been very stressed lately due to naturally the circumstances of him burning a building down.
Deception check.
Persuasion.
Alright, persuasion check. Because this is in fact true.
Oh, persuasion, unnatural 20, so dirty 20.
Xandor seems a little bit taken aback by this, and he says, "That's terrible, Mr. Montcoff. I'm really sorry to hear that. Your boy did this. Did he actually set fire to the place of education?"
Yes, and it didn't necessarily sound accidental either.
Do you believe that he would do such a thing?
I believe my uncle is currently acting as his ward. And I believe if my uncle Gadolf tells me that the boy set fire to the place purposefully, there is no reason to distrust my uncle's word.
I see. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, Mr. Montcoff.
Thank you, but I'm very sorry that I went out on a binge and obviously made Mr. Adric feel like he had to come and break the rules with me as well as my friends.
Well,
not necessarily stopping me, but allowing me to continue.
I must say you're lucky that you have such companions, actually, that they did assist you and they did bring you back pretty much immediately. You weren't out for that long. It was only not even 8 bells before the time you got home, and you know, usually when people make this kind of a mistake, shall we call it, they don't come back at all. If you know, and if they do, they'll usually be the day later or something like that. So I must say, I guess, all things considered, it could have been a lot worse.
Yes, but then again, it shouldn't have happened at all, and you have my sincerest apologies.
You must understand, I am going to have to make some sort of deduction for this. It's unfortunate.
Of course, sir. Of course. And I hope it's not in poor taste, but as a gift, and I hand him over my bottle of elven wine that we were gifted.
I can see why you don't want this right now, but you might change your mind tomorrow. You probably should keep that.
I don't think I'll be changing my mind, Mr. M.
I personally, I don't drink, so it's not going to be something. I mean, I can give it to someone or something like that, or I can put it on.
Maybe give it to the young apprentices to put some hair on their chest. I don't know.
He leans and he says, "I wouldn't waste it on them, to be honest with you."
Right. Very good.
Look, Edrin, please just forget about it. Take it back. I can't keep this. I can't be seen to take this sort of gift either, to be honest.
Very good. And I understand that. And he for a second doesn't, and then he takes it back and puts it back on his person.
Okay. All right. So, you have a plan for continuing, I assume. That's what I asked you to do, wasn't it? Was to come up with a plan for how to move forward with the operation, if I recall. Aye.
Well, much of our time up till now I've been just regaling with our fortune with our employer Giselle. He's quite pleased that things seem to be going well, and so we are more than equipped to continue.
I must say, Lady Goodale, I have to say, I've had a messenger from the Daughters of Twilight. They apparently received your letter. I was not aware that you'd sent a letter, but nonetheless, apparently you have. And they were curious as to what you're doing here and when you would be returning, and I have responded that you will be in contact with them in the near future. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you so much. I needed some things, so I sent for some items.
Right. Don't forget that you can always ask us too. We do have, significant resources at our disposal if you need anything, if any use to your person.
Thank you kindly.
All right. Well, I assume you've got things you need to get on with, as I know I do.
As far as the plan goes, I believe we need to start building a winch, elevator system, and/or a bridge. For that, I've got a plan in mind. I'll just need I've unfortunately only got a mason's kit on me. I'll probably need a smith's kit just so I can.
You need a forge to be set up by tomorrow.
Forge would be brilliant, thank you, sir.
All right, and you want some smith? I can get some smithies as well. Actually, I can. If you're looking for some assistance, I can organise that.
These lot are very handy, but I think I rather trust my own hands in some more experienced lot.
All right. I was going to hire some dwarves actually from the dwarven district up in Drovno. They're apparently quite good at this sort of thing. But if you're against that, then.
Oh no, for my own reasons, I prefer to be away from my people. But I
understood.
I cannot bury my pride for this. No, too much work to do. They're the best there is.
You'd bring them on then?
Aye.
How many do we want?
Yeah, no more than 3, I wager.
All right, and you're looking for a forge and a couple of anvils and all of that sort of business. I'll ask them what they should bring. I'm sure they'll know.
Aye, perfect.
Unless you want to make me a list.
I can do the list. I'm proficient with the smithing, but if somebody's more proficient in the bridge aspect might be good. A carpenter definitely.
All right, so we want a couple of carpenters perhaps, and
carpenters, some smithing assistants. I also, if I could get my hands on a calligraphy kit, just so I could take note of the runes down there. Because I did not get a good look at some of the vizier stuff.
Yes, of course. I can send a scholar with you if you want. We can. I mean, I take it you don't want to utilize Mr. Hamir anymore.
I found him pleasant most of the way, but he got jumped by a spider and almost eaten, and I just sucked the poison out of his head. So I'd prefer someone that was a bit handier and not quite so frail.
Right, okay, so not Mr. Hamir then. I'll make a note of that. Tea Earl Grey Hot has to go. Good night, has to be up early, and we're about to wrap up shortly too. So
good night.
We shall not leave you with anything much to miss. So thank you again, Tea Earl Grey Hot, for coming and being with us on our Thursday night.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I think this is probably a good place to leave it. Unless anybody else has anything they would like to add right now.
I have something I want to add.
Very good.
That little job you wanted done is done.
Good, Brixton. I knew I could count on you.
In return, the young lad I came out with, the young lad from the... Could you
Ben Silden.
That was Ben, wasn't it? Yeah,
Ben Silden.
Ben Filden.
Yes?
Can you send him home and tell him to go to Mother?
I can do that.
Thank you.
All right. Consider that done, Milford. Very good. I hope you found Drizael to be well then, on your outing.
Very well. Very well. He's quite happy.
Good.
More to the point, he's happy that you're happy.
Well, I'm glad we're all happy then. So let's continue being happy and get on with what we have to do. There's a lot to be done and not much time to do it in. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's good night from us, and
good night.
Good night from the team.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Just a quick close up as we leave the door. Adric looks inside his helmet. Oh, come on!
All right. Good night, people. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.